No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't got your.
We live.
Got some unfinished beat.
We live with it. Let's get it.
Nickel. No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't got your I's. We got some unfinished.
Welcome to the party. Let's go.
Nickel. Come and take a look through my perspective. School of hard knocks and struggling was my elective. Shit was reckless, so I had to always cop the heckler. Put under pressure, so that's why the shells were projected. My mind protected.
Welcome.
You ain't noticed.
Yeah, what it is, man? This is Super Blazing. It's got the campaign mix.
Notice your brain small and compacted. That's
what's left of it. You know what I mean?
Big ass record label with a pays.
Yes.
But you ain't know that. Too late to go. I'm at the end of.
You know what it is, man? We live inside the mix. We live inside the lounge, as you can see. We the lounge right behind me. Worldwide.
Back to the ground building.
With your finger, Mac.
Trying to build my see what the Almighty seeing.
Get the view, you know what I mean?
So ain't no way that you can play us.
We live with it.
My black fest for the erase.
No shout to Baron P in the building. Gotta agree with all.
No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't got your eyes.
No, we got Mike behind the camera. I am Super Blaze. Yes.
No wonder why you don't get.
Shout to Mac Aether. You know what it is? The track behind you hearing right now.
Got your eyes. We got
That's Mac Aether. Shout to my brother Mike. What up? Let's go.
They try so hard to keep it blind.
They try so hard.
God, I can see the light.
Yes.
Wanna keep me in the dark, but now you can see me shining bright. Now come and take a look through my dimension, a young God.
We clear, man. We look live with it. You know what it is.
12 tribes guessing, I'm just lost prevention. The type of things I'm seeing, guessing that I shouldn't mention. If I don't talk, then I be leaving you up in the dark. Hate shaking up and saying that they use the heart. I'm thinking, what's the motive killing?
Shout to Big Creep, what up?
The type of shit that make me blow up like a landmine.
Make that money, I see you, what up?
To build it with supreme beings, trying to build my mind to see what the Almighty.
Shout to Homeboy with the news.
Come to light, so ain't no way that you can play.
Yes, each and every Tuesday, you know what it is. We're gonna play that one more time from the top. Mac Aether. Them black fans, what we talking about? Hold up.
No wonder why you don't get this.
You don't get it yet.
You ain't cross your T's and you ain't got your I's. We got some unfinished business. Nickel. No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't got your I's. We got some unfinished business. Nickel. Now come and take a look through my perspective. School of hard knocks and struggling was my elective. Shit was reckless, so I had to always cock the heckler. Put under pressure, so that's why the shells were projected. My mind protected, I stay focused, boy, if you ain't noticed. When it come to my thoughts, I'm an S63, you just a lotus. Your brain small and compacted. That's why you contracted to a big ass record label where the pay's lacking. But you ain't know that, too late to go back. I'm at the end of Roy G. Biv, where to go at. I paint the picture, you can keep the Kodak. My cherry hit a waste, I think it's time for me to go back. Back to the ground building with supreme beings. Trying to build my mind to see what the Almighty seeing. Dark should come to light, so ain't no way that you can play us. I'm turning in my black fez for the erase. Nickel. No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't got your I's. We got some unfinished business. No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't got your I's. We got some unfinished business.
Welcome. You know what it is, man. Super Blaze inside the campaign mix. What's left of it, you know what it is, man. You're gonna have to check me out inside the music channel. You know what I mean? That's what we got going on. So look out for the music channel right now. You know what I mean? The autonomous party. Yo, I gotta get it right and put it out, bro. You know what I mean? I'm gonna hit y'all in the chat in about 5 minutes. We got a lot going on up here right now, as y'all can see. You know what I mean? So yo, you know what I mean? We're gonna keep it sliding right now. We're gonna do the indigenous slide real quick. Let's go, man.
Still.
Towers Candles, you know what I mean? You know what it is, go. Let's go.
Heartbeat the sound of the bass drum. Come with your best shot.
I'm off dry. I got
rumble in the jungle, I'm a lion.
Pasty cakes and all that up here right now.
Hey, for these generations, we the people lost but not forgotten. Tribal rivalry is
Towers Sanders.
One love, the key for
Soul of a warrior. Let's go.
Don't call me a doctor, but I will be your medicine man. We're all from the melting pot, so everybody in the crowd is a Native American. Like me, can't you see? The enemy is a L-I-E. One family tree we are. The truth is like smoking Joe, and so far, the bigger they come, the harder they fall. Bring on the giant, I'm ready to brawl. No giving up, flowing in my veins. Like a champion, I feel that I will never surrender. Born with the Dominican. I'm part Asian, Indian, Dominican. Back to Hindu, Dravidian, so Mexicano loco, man. Yes, Egyptian fits my description. Yes, I'm training hard for the mission. Yes, I'm a country boy from the south, and mama said knock you out. I'm in the ring like the bigger they come, the harder they fall. Bring on the giant, I'm ready to brawl. No giving up, flowing in my veins like a champion. I feel that I will never surrender. Born with the soul of a warrior, I will remain contender. Born with the soul of a warrior, I will. It's a down for one love and one people. Let me hear you say, hey, hey, y'all, one finger in the air, hey, y'all. Somebody wanna y'all see me break it down, down. Watch me break it down, down. Watch me break it down. Somebody know that y'all see me break it down, down. Yeah, me break it down, down, down.
They tell me a lot, say I'm in Africa. My great grandmama say I'm in India. They've been telling lies to us for way too long. This time they
Check.
go and stand up.
Okay. I'll put it in the chat right now. You see what it is.
That's all. Cherokee, black food, and then Wichita. Gave us these titles, say we sailed them from a distance.
Make sure you subscribe. We need our 50 subscribers. You know what I mean?
All this
Let's go live real quick.
been this struggle. On the TV screens, documentaries, try to keep it all undercover. The truth is now unfolding. So many nights we done cried. Identity I can't find. Break up scheme, it's American, but the claim tried to deny. Yeah. They tell me a lot, say I'm in Africa. My great grandmama say I'm in India. They've been telling lies to us for way too long. It's time now for us to go and stand up strong. Colonists came straight to the land and they take over. We used to be royal, now we get pulled over. Citizens belong to corporations. 1666, I take you retro. Swear they just erased us. My people never step foot in a foreign land. American in the end, they lying because they can't. Take my nationality, give me a crayon. Me no black, don't call me, that's frustration. They tell me a lot, say I'm in Africa. My great grandmama say I'm in India. They've been telling lies to us for way too long. It's time now for us to go and stand up strong. They tell me a lot, say I'm in Africa. My great grandmama say I'm in India. They've been telling lies to us for way too long.
Look. America, 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 you long way. America, 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 you long way. America to marry, America to marry, America to marry, America to long way. America to marry, America to marry, America to marry, America to marry. Treating me like you cheating on me. I got an SSC and they leeching on me. They done went under the bleachers on me. All you wanna do is tax me. You ain't even really ask me. Ain't no full disclosure. Made me feel like it's over. We ain't break up, no closure. We ain't get no domestic. Is you foreign or domestic? Respect it or you can check it. I care about this country. I care about this country, but this country ain't got no love for me. It's treating me all monkey.
Let's go.
On the boat is how
Shout out to Homeboy with the news.
Around this a lot.
You know what it is.
They really put down the plot here, but they birthrights, it's not here. I'm from the soil, copper colored. I ain't black, no crude oil. Thinking about this two-door. America, 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 with you long way. America, 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 with you long way. America to marry, 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 America to marry.
How you claim you a Democrat if it's two Republic for which you stand? I ain't voting for nan one. Both of them can't get these hands. One nation under God. What God they talking about? What nation they talking about? Overseas is all they talking about. Aborigines need the funds here. Our youth trying to have fun here. Inflation stay on the rise here. Everyone in disguise here. New laws a surprise here. Everyone get to hide here. That's right. Everyone get to hide here. Remember, it was just you and us before colonizing. We was doing us. No third parties. The two of us never seen them, but they knew of us. Destroyed our ruins, then ruined us. We was Indians, made us switch us up, made us switch us up, made us switch it up, made us switch it up. We ain't giving up. America, America, America. The moment you realize it's people that you love that you don't have to leave behind. America, America, America. Look. We at war, we at war. Everybody can't go though. Some of us vibing high. Everybody can't go though.
Right.
Some of y'all might leave family behind. Everybody can't go though.
Everybody ain't gonna go, you heard?
But you get deleted. Some people are defeated, so you feel deleted.
Uh-oh.
Blaze. You realize it's people that
peace
you
to the
love
party.
that
What's
you
up? What up?
behind.
I see everybody in the chat. What up? How y'all doing tonight? Let's tap in. Let's go.
Look.
Turn up. Let's go.
We at war, we at war.
What?
Everybody can't go though.
Nope.
Some of us vibing high.
Right.
Everybody can't go though.
Tell us.
Some of y'all might leave family behind. Everybody can't go though.
Everybody ain't going,
completed, but you get deleted. Some people are defeated, so you feel deleted. And knowledge is medicine. Know when you need it. If everyone go, I'ma know that you treated. You think I'm conceited. I'm feeling completed. Life is a game and I'm planning to beat it. Life is a game and I'm planning to beat it. Everybody can't go though, beat it. You was ascending and starting to win. No pretending, actually win. Low vibrations, box you win. Who keep letting them toxins in? All my people are toxin us. Everyone on our toxin land. Ancient like cosmology. I am the source, I go within. I can't go unless I go to win. Really a God supposed to win. Anyone that's trying to get with me, just start doing the most you in. Trying to turn up, it goes to 10. Blood type O, you almost in. Minarchin, we all go in. G, I'm a rule, we all go in. Bring me the water, but can't make you drink. No, I'm not here to just make you think. If anything, I'm here to just make you fight. It's all lost, just make it right. Everybody ain't with it. Let me tell you, I don't like breathing. Freedom ain't free, you broke, I get it. Let me tell you, you don't like breathing. The moment you realize it's people that you love that you gonna have to.
Everybody can't go though. You know what it is, man. We just having some fun up here.
We at war, we at war. Everybody can't go though. Some of us vibing high. Everybody can't go though.
Shout out to you if you're vibing high right now. Real talk.
Everybody can't go though. Could have completed, but you get deleted. Some people are defeated, so you feel deleted. And knowledge is medicine. Know when you need it. If everyone go, I'ma know that you treated. You think I'm conceited, I'm feeling completed. Life is a game and I'm planning to beat it. Life is a game and I'm planning to beat it. Everybody can't go though, beat it. You was ascending and starting to win. No pretending, actually win. Low vibrations, boxing you in. Who keep letting them toxins in? All my people are toxin us. Everyone on our toxin land. Ancient like cosmology. I am the source, I go within. I can't go unless I go to win. Really a God supposed to win. Anyone that's trying to get with me, just start doing the most you in. Trying to turn up, it goes to 10. Blood type O, you almost in. Minarchin, we all go in. G, I'm a rule, we all go in. Bring me the water, but can't make you drink. No, I'm not here to just make you think. If anything, I'm here to just make you fight. It's all lost, just make it right. Everybody ain't with it. Let me tell you, I don't like reading. Freedom ain't free, you broke, I get it. Let me tell you, you don't like breathing.
We gon' die every day. They said Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if we can't.
Yeah, you listen to Super Blaze, let's go.
DJ Super Blaze.
We gon' die every day.
Let's go, Charlie.
Swear we gon' die every day. They said Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if he can't. They tell us we black, but we ain't. Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day. Cause we don't know where we came. We been here, lived here, open borders, got deported, fought for rights. Kidnapped, bitch slapped, blacked out, covered up, washed white. Drugged up, slugged up, beat bread, left for dead, fuck your life. It's all a plan, kill your man, take your land, slave your kids, rape your wife. Why y'all look so mad if all this shit I say is true? Why y'all look so mad if all this shit happen to you?
White man quick to tell you was a slave, nothing before me. He himself only been free since 1840. On recording, I'm an ancient Egyptian from Atlantis, headed straight for Canada, that's Israel. Nothing fake about me, no capping rapping, I just fed the ink and I'm digital. No caveman, I'm original. Kentucky fried, extra crispy, wear a lot of gold, cause my family history. I'm the guy to know, I bring death to history. But we gon' die every day. They say Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if we can't. They tell us we black, but we ain't. Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day. Cause we don't know where we came. So we gon' die every day. They say Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if we can't. They tell us we black, but we ain't. Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day. Cause we don't know where we came.
Feeling like I'm sorry. I don't need no driver's license. No. Just the beauty like a license. Let the ride or die and steal the show. You know they tried to drown me in Admiralty, but I'm alive, they can't bury me. Now I'm wealthy and scholarly. Walk on the sea like I'm JC. Now I'm doing
What you say? One more before we get out of here? What? That's the last one? All right, one more. Let's go. Like chocolate, let's go, man.
feeling like I'm sorry.
We ascending with this one.
I don't need no driver's license. No, I don't need just the beauty like a license.
Shout to the child.
Die and steal the show.
Burn Super Blaze on the mix. You know what it is.
They tried to drown me in Admiralty, but I'm alive, they can't bury me. Now I'm wealthy and scholarly. Walk on the sea like I'm JC. Now I'm doing bigger, better. I'm changing atmospheres. Levitating. The meditation clears the mind. Keep it so clear. Don't you let them use you. Keep your weapon near. Celebration is the only way out here. You gotta be tired of dying and burying people out here. I know it's hard cause they shoot first. They pull up, yeah, they click clack, they do dirt. They go home, they no get back. But they can't bother me, nah. Cause I'm not property. This is essential. Essential. Yeah. Just the mission.
I was gonna play one more, but man, I'm gonna leave off on this one, man. You gotta listen to the words, man.
Feeling like I'm sorry. I don't need no driver's license. No, I don't need just the beauty.
You traveling, man. Stop playing.
Let the ride or die and steal the show. You know they tried to drown me in Admiralty, but I'm alive, they can't bury me. Now I'm wealthy and scholarly. Walk on the sea like I'm JC. Now I'm doing bigger, better. I'm changing atmospheres. Levitating. The meditation clears the mind. Keep it so clear. Don't you let them use you. Keep your weapon near. Celebration is the only way out here. You gotta be tired of dying and burying people out here. I know it's hard cause they shoot first. They pull up, yeah, they click clack, they do dirt. They go home, they no get back. But they can't bother me, nah. Cause I'm not property. This is essential.
That's straight oneness, you know what I mean?
Essential. Yeah. Just the mission, yeah. To be free and clear. Living off the lamp like a trillionaire.
Yeah, let's get the remote and hit the power button, bro.
I ain't gotta care. Living on my dream and killing all the nightmares.
Let's get it.
Oh my gosh. Lord knows. Y'all see me back here vibing Black Jacket. Boy, you got you 1 times 3, you heard me? Y'all need to get with Black Jacket if you don't know, boy. I'm gonna tell you something, boy. Let me breathe. Let it breathe. Let it marinate. Blaze. Play that back. Play one more time. Look, just look. Lord no. Hope y'all ready tonight. We're gonna turn up.
One more time, man. Black Jagger. Let's ascend real quick.
Feeling like I'm sorry. I don't need no driver license. No, I don't need just the beauty like a license.
I see the chat jumping. Shout to the chat.
Die still the show. You know they try to drown me in Lamborghini.
All these lights around me, I can't really. You know what I mean?
Bury me. Now I'm wealthy and scholarly.
What up, big OJ? Shout to you. What up?
JC. Now I'm doing bigger, better. I'm changing atmospheres. Levitating. The meditation clears the mind. Keep it so clear. Don't you let them use you. Keep your weapon near. Celebration is the only way out here. You gotta be tired of dying and burying people out here.
Yeah. That's my part right here. First, that's right.
They go home, then they'll get back.
Turn up.
They can't bother me now.
Yeah.
Some night property.
Come on.
It's essential. Yeah.
Do it.
Clear. Laughing like a tree. It's the mission. I ain't gotta care. Living on my dream and killing all the nightmares. Yeah.
Hold on, Blaze. Give me that. Let me get that work. Oh, do it. Give me that.
Yes, indeed.
That's a joint though, right here. Tap in.
I've been building mounds, now the mounds turn to pyramids. Follow God, fuck what your religion is.
Tap in.
Small from the view of my pyramid.
What they say?
Look at that from my pyramid.
Turn up.
DJ Super Blaze.
All right, Blaze. That's all I wanted you to do. That's all I want you to do. Don't do nothing else, man. Lord knows.
It's my song, man. I'm carried away when I hear that song, bro. You know what I mean?
I think I done drink most of my alcohol.
Fellas out there, man. You know what it is. I see the miles every day. I'm driving on Turnpike, bro. You know what I mean? Real talk, bro. I be bumping this in my ride on the way up, on the way back. The miles just that vibration, bro. It's real. So, yeah.
Wow.
Even today, you know where I live at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Today I was over by the moms over there, the 3 Mile Park right there. So the vibration is just what it is, man. Shout to the moms.
Yeah, man. The mounds, man. Campaign mix each and every Sunday. If you see it in the chat, go to the joint, the Townless Party Mix Show. Subscribe to it. We see we got about 39 people here with us. About to say what they say, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's in the building. Everybody that's live with us after, before. MusicMediaLounge.com. Campaign mix each and every Sunday. We live. You know what I mean? And obviously we getting ready to go into some work. You know what I'm saying? Negro Rule. 1812 to the Negro Rule Reconstruction. So hope y'all ready for this one. You know what I'm saying? Our guest is in the building. So we're going to get straight to the bumps and let's get to it. Appreciate you, Blaze. We see you next week.
I appreciate y'all. Thanks for having me, guys. All right, next week I'll see y'all again.
Let's go. God, let's go. Tap in.
Double S drifter, separate sipping, and you know I came with it if she cute with it.
Actually, you know, back to like the 90s though, when we going. My bad, let me.
Whenever I start to feel alone, I just play your voice loud that I say before things change. Now I read the message you sent, trying to tune out when you said I know you love me, but you should just forget about us.
This could take quite a bit of time.
Pardon my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces. How the fuck you bummy and broke but a pair of races? My lineage free people of color with a left maker. Each nigga. This right here maroon, now it ain't burgundy. If you plotting murder, I'm certain that you'll need surgery. Hurt from when the burner squeeze. Protecting tribe business. Only consulting with governments tried to tribe with it. Please don't confuse us with those considered native. Semi-autonomy never was in our nature. Just address me as Esther Loosely. Wild Indian status and Cherokees riding Ruchis. In my war bonnet, if you want it, bring it to your region. And black forces the same color the European. Pardon my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces.
Aborigines, which means what? Black folks. But you never find a white aborigine. Aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are aborigines.
Y'all ready? I'm ready. Give them joints. Let's go. Yeah, I want them to get that work though. Tap in.
He see a brown boy, he in shock. Bullets go pop, pop. It's about getting our feelings when they do the killings, but we do the same thing on the block, repeating the same thing. We bots. Look how the plot twist like a lock. They rapping the same things on the songs. They pushing the same thing on the media. All of the kids watching every move and everything you do. They repeating and pushing the same things in the movies, pushing whatever that they sell, pushing the same things in the streets and putting us all in the same jail. Free the block, free the bros, free your mind, free your soul, free yourself, free your goals. Are we free? I say no. Free my mama, free my sister, free my cousin. Let them go till we free. I'm screaming freedom, 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 freedom.
Various celebrities in New York, because it was the opening concert in New York, and there were all kinds of celebrities, very, very famous people coming in to be seated. And that when you were seated, you got the loudest applause. People stood up and roared and cheered when you walked in. Why is that? What is this fascination?
I don't know. Maybe I should be a rock star. By the way,
they thought you were going to moonwalk.
He was great. I have to say. No, I did get I don't know why. I really don't know why. I wish I could pinpoint it. I wish I could really tell you why. But I think I've done a good job in New York, and I've done a charitable job in a sense. And Trump Tower has become such a success, and it's as you and I were discussing, it's become the #1 attraction in New York, Trump Tower. And I think people recognize it. New York people are really proud of it. And people
so you've sort of become like a folk hero. I mean, people, there's someone in this audience, I was reading the audience list, some man who's a businessman, you can tell me who you are later, who went to New York and just wanted to stand by your building, hoping some of the luck would run off.
Is that true? Is he in this audience?
He's in this audience.
We have to find him.
Yeah. And so how do you explain that? Or is there an explanation?
I believe that you make your own luck to a large extent. The word luck is a very important word, very important. There's no more important word than luck, but you can help create or help make your own luck. I walk down the street a lot of times and people will touch me and they'll grab for me. And I used to really be insulted because I'm a private guy. I'd say, geez, that's horrible. Somebody punches you in the arm a little bit and, you're just walking down the street. And then ultimately, I became, in a sense, honored by that because people are really looking for something. Unfortunately, I don't think that has any effect. I don't think it works. I think you have to go out and really work hard and do well, and you have to have the ability.
So he also releases this from Elon Musk, X, Oprah, and Trump.
Last year, criticizing U.S. foreign policy. What would you do differently, Donald?
I'd make our allies, forgetting about the enemies you can't talk to so easily. I'd make our allies pay their fair share. We're a debtor nation. Something's going to happen over the next number of years with this country because you can't keep going on losing $200 billion. And yet we let Japan come in and dump everything right into our markets and everything. It's not free trade. If you ever go to Japan right now and try to sell something, forget about it, Oprah. Just forget about it. It's almost impossible. They don't have laws against it. They just make it impossible. They come over here, they sell their cars, their VCRs, they knock the hell out of our companies. And hey, I have tremendous respect for the Japanese people. I mean, you can respect somebody that's beating the hell out of you, but
isn't this crazy? I saw footage like this on The View as well. And I kind of forgot about this footage too. I saw Oprah up there and even Jesse Jackson was at the DNC. Jesse Jackson, who literally his campaign was funded by Trump when he ran for president back in the day. All these videos are resurfacing, but I gotta say, Elon Musk releasing these videos and showing people, do you know about Elon? Do you know that Elon is literally like, bro, this guy's the most followed guy. This guy's literally like Elon Musk. And he's releasing this footage, showing the world of how people have switched up on Donald Trump. They're getting on stages, calling Trump names, trying to demonize Trump that he's not a human. But meanwhile, they used to be on his body.
They are beating the hell out of this country. Kuwait, they live like kings. The poorest person in Kuwait, they live like kings. And yet they're not paying. We make it possible for them to sell their oil. Why aren't they paying us 25% of what they're making? It's a joke.
This sounds like political presidential talk to me. And I know people have talked to you about whether or not you want to run. Would you ever?
Probably.
Look at that. Look at that. Won't you look at that? Oprah Winfrey was one of the first people to ask Donald Trump if he would actually run for president.
Political presidential talk to me. And I know people have talked to you about whether or not you want to run. Would you ever?
Probably not. But I do get tired of seeing.
Ladies and gentlemen, so I'm on Instagram scrolling. And I go past this picture, and I don't know why you end up stopping. I don't know why this came up on my feed, but it did. And it say this is a picture of a Cherokee Indian from the Carolinas. And it say the Cherokee Indians in the Carolinas was classified as Negro. So this picture over 100 years old. Now, why am I talking about this? Why am I talking about this? If you ain't paying attention, the person in this picture look a lot like me. Them eyes. Because my mama had said that my grandmama was part Indian. And that's where I get my eyes from, my grandmama and them. My mama got these same eyes, and her mama got the same. So that's what I'm saying. They were saying, yeah, it's Cherokee. And I wasn't paying attention to that. when they were saying that back in the day. I'm like, everybody, all the black people that got Indian in my family. But damn, Buddy looked just like me. He got my eyes. And I can sure believe that if they was dark skinned, then they would just be like them Negroes, them black folks. I get it. So now we got to talk to Ancestry.com because y'all ain't saying nothing to me about this. Y'all said nothing at all.
The South. Many Americans are confused about which states actually belong to the South. So, which ones do? According to the U.S. Census Bureau, all of these states as the South. By this definition, the South is America's most populous region, with over 127 million people, or 38% of the entire U.S. population. However, many Americans don't consider Delaware, Maryland, or Washington, D.C. as remotely Southern. Another way to define the South is by including all the states that fought for the Confederacy during the Civil War. Even so, many Americans don't consider parts of Texas, Florida, or Virginia to be truly Southern. Overall, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, and South Carolina are almost universally considered part of the South. But states like Texas, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Florida, North Carolina, and Virginia are still considered Southern, but not as much as the previously mentioned states.
Peace to the party. We live. Music Media Lounge. Shout out to everybody in the chat once again. We built up, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate that it's here. Negro Rule, 1812 to Reconstruction period. The Negro Rule. Our guest is Amos Carr. Amos, man, dropped some heat, you know what I'm saying? On us about 30 days, I would say now. But Lee Cummins, one of our prior bills. Matter of fact, the last time we had him with us, Lee Cummins. Shout out to Lee Cummins and the author of the Negro Question series. Everybody's been tapping into dealing with these black and swarthy Europeans and shit. You hear me? In genealogy, everybody, the surnames. We've had a lot of things going on the last 30 days and covering information that, I think people might be really wanting to look into. We're trying to get obviously to the understanding though, you know what I'm saying, of things. So we're gonna go ahead and break some things down tonight, you know what I mean? So we brought I said it, I've been saying like I gotta get Amos in here to do this joint. We gotta go ahead and walk this down. Let's get clarity. So I said, Amos, we're gonna do this on Amos tonight. Last time we had Miss Angela, shout out to Miss Angela. Was before that we had St. Nicholas with him. Shout out to St. Nicholas, you know what I'm saying? And the first time we brought him on, which wasn't even supposed to happen that way, we had him with Lee Cummins and my man Maroon J. Shout out to Maroon J, you heard me? This is Maroon, not Burgundy. Esther Lusty, you heard me? Yeah. At the same time, though, shout out to everybody that's with us live. The harsh reality is live life at times, you heard? It's the party. Shout out to God of Green, Baron P, Blaze, Firebird, Homeboy with the News, Opie, Crypto Fred, Trail, you know what I'm saying? Oh shit, I got so many people I can name, you heard me? Mr. Nett, Miss Sherry, Bria, Miss Angela. I already said Miss Angela, Miss Sherry. I mean, I got a lot of people I can name, but I just want to throw out some names, people that I gotta show love to and their support of what we do as the party, you heard me? Day ones and shit, you know what I'm saying? If I miss you, you already know what it is though. East Side, what up? I want to make sure I shout out East Side. You know what I'm talking about? I've got people everywhere though, from California to, you know what I'm saying, to the East Coast. 9 Ether, you know what I'm saying? Alpha, you know what I'm saying? I can keep going now. I got some folk, you know what I'm saying? Every little bit of everywhere. We sprinkled all over. That's the loose. But yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat with us tonight though. Y'all with us tonight though, so shout out to you. Our guest here, right? Let's get into it. You know what I'm saying? Before I play any clips or anything else, I want to let's get our guests on the stage and let's get to this conversation. Amos.
Brother Mac, what's going on, Mac?
What's going on with you, man? I mean, it's just me and you, man. I want to get to some things. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Peace to the room.
Yeah, peace to everybody.
Right. Let me start off by saying I'm gonna throw in a disclaimer. First of all, Brother Mac, I won't let everybody know that your brother Amos, I'm not a genealogist.
Right.
By no stretch of the imagination. I am not an institutionalized, miseducational, trained historian, by no means.
Right.
I'm just a brother who is an independent researcher who has the ability to grasp the understanding of history of what went on in the 16, 17, 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
Taking that information and using what I call critical thinking skills and just pure common sense. We call it common sense. I like to call it God sense. It's the sense that the Creator endowed us with, or the sense that we were endowed with until we got brainwashed by these institutions. So that's all I am. That's all that I do. And I have gleaned information and videos from all of the greats who have bills and podcasts and and things of that nature. So shout out to everybody who's presenting this info.
For sure. And I appreciate you being honest like that. Very transparent. That's what we is over here. We're not considered a genealogist. You know what I'm saying? We can't say that we're academically doctors and lawyers and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? We the people.
We just grassroots, man. Straight from the
grassroots, right? We out the mud with this.
Yeah.
It's the party. Yeah, we came out the mud. We on some maroon shit. We ain't even trying to. So I need your information from the fact that you show your sources, and that's what's going to matter. See, because everybody can comprehend. Hopefully, when we show the sources that we like to do over here, we like to have source-based conversations, and you came with sources out the gate. And ever since I've known you, you come with sources out the gate. We don't have conversations just to have them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if you want to show your screen, just to let you know you got the tape. I know how y'all is.
Okay,
in Chicago. Okay, if it's on you though, you ain't got to. If you comfortable like that, it's gonna make it easier for you to get to this work. We can do it like this. I don't care. Let's out aboard the Negro Rule.
I'm gonna be able to share my screen. Let me see. Share screen. Okay. Here
As long as you can show your sources and stuff, I'm cool. You know what I'm talking about? But if you want to, you know what I'm talking about. So however you want to work.
Okay. Okay, so I know.
If you wanted to. So, wait, oh my bad, I interrupted you. I was just making sure. Are you trying to show your screen, or you want to wait a minute? You just want to get into it.
I want to share the screen, so I want to share. Let's start off with this piece right here.
Okay.
Because I want to go back to the document from the Department of Archives and History from the state of Mississippi. Let me see if I can pull that up.
Mm-hmm.
Share tab. And let me bring this up first. Check. All right. I hope the people can see this.
I don't know. Wait, when it pop up, we're gonna share it. There we go.
You got it?
Yeah, it's there now. You see it?
All right. Now I'm gonna keep this up because I want to go back to this document. And I don't know if I can share both screens, but this is the document I read from when I first was on dealing with the Negro Rule in Mississippi. And I focus a lot on Mississippi because that's where my people were from. They're still there. Some is down there, what we call the Delta. All right. And I got some relatives that's still in Knoxville County, Mississippi right now to this date. And what strikes me very interesting is that they're still living down there. My parents left when I was one, moved us to Chicago because my pops was threatened by a white man. They said it's going to hang him from a tree. So he fled and came here to Chicago. And that's how I ended up in Chicago right now to this day.
Right.
They were lynching him from the tree. But it shocks me that this history of Mississippi is not known by the residents that live in Mississippi. I find it very, very interesting. But let me go back to this document. And I don't know if I could share both screens, Max. I think I'm only sharing one screen right now.
You only one screen at a time, I think. There's only one screen. I don't think we got that kind of technology over here to do two at a time.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm going to leave this one up, and I'm going to read from this document. Like I said, it's coming from the Department of Archives and History from the state of Mississippi, right? And it's going to tell us what Reconstruction was all about. Now, despite what we were told in school, that Reconstruction was all about rebuilding the nation after the devastation of the Civil War. And you got Pan-African scholars, you got these white pale-skinned scholars reiterate the same lie over and over again to our children. But we're going to go to the department and see what they say Reconstruction is all about. not coming from Brother Amos, not coming from Brother Mac. And let me go ahead and read it. This is what it says. It says, give me a second, let me bring it up. Where am I? Did I lose my place? Give me a second, Brother Mac.
Take your time.
Okay, here we go. All right. It says, from the war up to the time I was with Mr. Myers in 1875. So we want to make sure we're clear. What war is he talking about here? From the time of the war to 1875, we know that's the Civil War, correct? All right. So,
Yes.
Yeah, so he said, we have been going through Reconstruction, or what would be a better term, Negro Rule. Or even better, now check it out, it gets better, or even better, black heels on white necks. You know, Brother Mac, when somebody got their heel on your neck, that means what? You've been oppressed. You've been held down, right?
Right.
Now, you know what I'm saying? So not only is Reconstruction about Negro Rule, also these Negroes is oppressing these pale skins. How many of us learned this in quote unquote Black History Month?
I mean, shoot, how can we push a slave narrative if you got Negro Rule? You can't push a slave narrative on everybody and everybody out of Africa and right out of Reconstruction that you just are, highlighting, because me and you were talking about this recently yesterday when we talked before, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wanted you to come in like this, because this is, like you said, you touching on Reconstruction. And what time period is this again?
It says from the time of the war, which is the start. The Civil War actually started in 1861. The first shots of the Civil War started in 1861. So we're talking about from 1861 all the way up until 1875, which, if my mathematics serve me correctly, that's a 14-year time period.
Yes, I'm on my math too with you now. 14 years. Yeah.
14 years.
That's what we got. Yeah, that's what it is.
14 years, pale-skinned people were being oppressed and under the oppression and rule of quote-unquote the Negro.
Now, interesting as you talk about this time frame, and I'm glad, I hope everybody that's with us live tonight or listen to this after the fact. You know what I'm talking about? Like 1861 to 1875. Can we add 2 years? Because really, isn't it 1877, Amos?
Say again? Repeat that, Brother Mac.
Doesn't it really end in 1877, though?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But see, make sure people get those dates in their head. We're talking about a 14-year period.
Right. What is a document that they asking in the chat? They want to show what on the screen? What he's reading from? Okay, they want to know what you're reading from right now, because obviously they can't see this. What were you just reading from?
Okay.
Just so everybody can be on the same page as us right now.
Okay, if they can hear me, this is what I want them to do. I'm going to walk them through how to go to Google and obtain this information from the Department of Archives and History. So I can walk them through that, right? So they can pull it up and they can read along with me.
Can you share the screen as you do it, or do you want to just stay on this? Is there a reason why you kept this one up right here? Because this is the black and white one. What's this one right here exactly, so everybody can know that too?
Okay, the black and white one you're seeing right now, this is a census for Knoxville County, Mississippi from the year 1860.
Right.
Now,
I want everybody to know. That's why I want to know. I just want to make sure everybody.
Mind you, they said black folks did not get enumerated on the census until what? 1870 is when black appeared on the census, right? And we were
not all black. When we say all black, though, Amos, knowing that we got them folk up there in them territories that's tied to the Union, wouldn't some of them be on a census record based off that first census record in 1790? So some of the people, like you said, majority of the people, especially if you're not in the territories of what people know as the Union territories, going into 1790 with George Washington being president, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Those like people like Paul Cuffey and them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they up north, you know what I'm saying? I'm in the South though, like you said though, this is what people may not even catch. Like you said, like around this time when a lot of dark-skinned people out in the South, Negroes, you know what I mean, are in these territories are now being counted on the census, dealing with the system of now after Proclamation Emancipation. After the Proclamation Emancipation. Negro Rule.
And
That's what you're telling us. Right
that's
now.
what I'm saying. And what I want people to also see this 1860, because if we were told that there were no, matter of fact, we also were told there were no free people of color in Mississippi prior to 1870.
Yeah.
This census right here is going to prove once again that these teachers, historians, have been feeding us false information. That's why I had that. This is a census record from 1860.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
And
I just want people to understand this first before you move on to the next thing. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
everybody can follow along, right? You know what I mean? I know we came out blasting, but you know what I mean? This is the Mississippi joint. Everybody's following along. Census record, right? Make sure 1860.
Can they still see those records? Can they still see it?
It's kind of small, to be honest. You know what I mean?
Let me see.
I don't know if you can enlarge your screen for people maybe to see a little bit more, but or if you want to send it to us in the back, you know what I mean? We can make it happen. Okay, you got it. All right, bet money. There it is. Oh yeah, you got it. Yeah, that's perfect. I hope everybody do see it. Now you see it, y'all, in the chat.
Now, brother Mac, if you can see this, man, I want to just run through some of these names, right?
Yeah.
You got a brother named L.B. McDavid. He's a farmer. Look how much land he has. His real estate, $8,000, and his personal estate, $16,000, which would be a lot of money back in 1860. He's a farmer, right? Then you got his wife, M.A. McBride. Then he has his children. And look across where it says race. They have letter B, right? And if I'm not mistaken, that letter B stands for black. Is that what you get to, Mac?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Black.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So here's black folks owning land, farmer with a real estate and personal estate value, which means they would be considered pretty like well off at that time, right? And you go down, you see all these folks. All you're seeing are B's, B's, B's. You see a couple of A's, which I don't understand what those meant during the 1860s because they were only using Negro, colored, black, mulatto. So I'm not sure what A is.
Yeah, that's interesting. I see that A next to Jones and it say physician.
He's a physician.
In Alabama. That's Alabama. They say physician, they say A. Yeah, I don't know what that is either. I've never seen that before.
I've never seen. Only time I've seen
anybody in the chat, let us know if you know what that A stand for.
The only time I've seen that letter A, and they said that was American, but I don't know if that's American or
that's interesting.
Because I don't know if they used Asian at that time. So I have seen.
Ain't no Asian on the record at that time.
No, it wasn't. Nope, because remember they didn't get citizenship until the Naturalization Act of 1870 was it?
Yeah, there's no Caucasian next to white until 1870. So. Right. This is why this is so important for people to understand this time period of the Reconstruction, where the Negro Rule thing is taking place. You know what I mean? You're showing people in this position, you know what I mean, when people would think something different, you know what I mean? Either way.
Now I'm scrolling down, Mac, and all I'm seeing, brother, are B's, 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 B's.
I see a lot of B's.
I don't see no W's for white.
I don't see, yeah. Well, so who you think, wait. So all the spaces where there's no B's, though, what would you call that to be, devil's advocate? There's a lot of spaces where there's no B's. So what would that be? Who you classify them people in that race category that's got no B's next to their joint?
Okay, what I can only.
Or do you think they all, because the surname, you think they all kind of connected? You know what I'm saying? All the McDavids?
No, see, here's the part. Here's the thing. If you look at L.B. McDavid, he's 31. You see M.A. McDavid, she's 30. So I'm assuming this is him and his wife, right? Then you look, William C. McDavid, he's 9 years old. This is the son, but they got B by the son's name. So I can say, well, if the son is black, the mother father has to be black. So I don't know why they left the mother father empty blank. You know what I'm saying? It probably be almost something like if you, that what they call it, the ditto signs when you put B and then you go ditto, 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 and everybody down below that, it's the same black, 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 black. You know what I'm saying? So instead of continuously writing black, whoever this what they call them, transcriber is, I don't know what type of pattern she used, and maybe the person they want to write black for everybody, but you see the children, and it's a pattern. You see the parents doesn't have any racial designation, but you see the children black. You see the father like Sorrell, Mr. Sorrell, Joseph or Josh Sorrell, male. Yeah. His wife Mary, she's 31, female. But then you only see the letter black when it gets down to the children. John F., who's 6 years old, he's a boy, he's a male, then it had to be for black. And so if the child is black, unless two white folk had a black child, or these white folk are adopting black children, which are highly doubt. Because remember, I told you when we go back into this article from the State Archive of Mississippi, it says Knoxville County was 90% Negro. Right? I'm gonna go back to that because I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read that though. I'm gonna read what it says. Knoxville County during this time of the war, from 1860, from the time of the war up until 1875, Knoxville County was 90% Negro. And this right
What
here.
What are you reading from right now, though, Amos? What are you reading from right now, so everybody can know?
About the 90% being Negro from Knoxville County?
Yeah, what source is this from? Just so people can, you know what I mean?
This is coming from the 1860 federal census from it's called U.S. Gen Well.
Okay, I just want people to know as they're following along, you know what I mean, what you're reading from. So I mean, because some people might be like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? God Green wanted me to have you share, but you just told everybody what that exactly is from, right? God, what you wanted to know?
Let me see if I can copy and paste it and put it in the chat so people can see for themselves. All they can do is just Google this.
Yeah, it was the part where you were talking about the Negro Rule that God Green wants, specifically, like if we can get that source and everybody can get their hands on that so they can know what that is.
All right. I'm going to give you some instructions, Mac, and to the people in the room. I want you to type in Mississippi.
Mississippi, y'all.
Mississippi Library Commission. And hit enter.
Enter. That's Google, y'all.
That's Google.
Mississippi Library Commission. We live with this now.
Okay. Now it should be the first entry. It should say Mississippi Library Commission. Click on that link.
Y'all, I hope y'all following now.
Now, when you click on that link, it should bring you to something that says Mississippi Library Commission. And you have certain tab that says Home, About Us, MLC Services. What I want you to do,
Amos.
Yeah.
This Mississippi, I'm gonna let you keep going. Go ahead. My bad. Let me stop. Go ahead.
That's quite all right. Now, I want them to hover the mouse over the tab that says MLC Services. Once you hover your mouse over MLC Services, I want you to scroll down where it says Online Resources. Click on that. All right. Now, when you click on Online Services, you should be able to scroll down to you should see a column that says Library Commission's Online Catalog, the Beehive Resource Sharing System. But I want you to scroll all the way down to where you see WPA County Files. Click on that. And when you click on WPA County Files, it's going to give you a list of all the counties in the state of Mississippi. When you get a chance, you can go and do the research. You click on the county your ancestors were from, and they're going to give you a history of what was going on in that county during, what we call the Reconstruction period or whatever time frame. It'll give you the history of that county, when it was formed, when it came into existence, what was going on, blase, blase. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, because my people are from Knoxville County, Mississippi, I went scroll down to Knoxville County. Click on Knoxville County.
I mean, right now you're showing right now, for example, we just had it up. Are you moving? You gonna show something else?
Okay, let me go back. Okay.
You just so everybody can see that at the top. That was a census that was done with your family, right? Is that tied to what you would just tell everybody to go to, right?
That's my family.
That's your research from what you told everybody to go to. You were showing an example of what was on the screen, basically.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to make sure everybody understands that, comprehends that one more time. You know what I mean? What he just walked y'all through, what he is showing on the screen actually is what he got to for his family records dealing with that area. See what I'm saying? Right. In Mississippi. during that time period of Reconstruction. So everybody that might not caught that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like you said, Brother Mac, that's my county with my people, Knoxville County, Mississippi. And that's why I chose Knoxville, because I want to just give you guys, since I already did the research, and so it'll be easy if I can just navigate to through Knoxville County as I'm reading this documentation, right?
Right. That's loaded. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know how fast your computer is. It might take a little minute for it to download. And once it downloads, I want people to go to.
There we go. We got it on our side now.
You got
See
it? Okay.
Yeah, we took a little time to download, but we function.
All right. Now you should be able to see. We'll give you the page number. It says the total amount of pages is 467.
Yep.
You see that?
Yep.
I want to type in 181.
181.
Mm-hmm. Now, before you do that,
Mac,
hold on, Mac. Before you do that, I want you to blow that up so people can see where this is coming from. We like to deal with sources, primary. Right. So I want people to see where this is actually coming from, and I want you, if you can, enlarge that, and let's read that. See where it's coming from.
That shit. Why is shit so? It's original. Make it bigger.
Now go down.
My cataracts, boy. That shit's dull as hell, huh? It's real light.
Ooh. Now go to the top.
I see certificate of
go up, Mac. Go up.
Authenticity.
I want them to see the beginning. There you go. Right there.
See? Archives in History, State of Mississippi, Jackson. I see that. Yeah, I read it. I see it.
Archives in History. So it's telling you this is the history of what was going on in the state of Mississippi. Not something I made up. I don't want people to say, well, this brother just made that up. Negro wasn't ruled. Negro wasn't in control. I'm making you know this is where this information is coming from.
In the Mississippi, wow. In Carolina, in Alabama, in the Reconstruction period, Negro Rule.
Now,
let me tell you something. We're going to get into something tonight.
This is right here. It's going to be for those who have relatives in Mississippi and for those who are from Mississippi. You weren't taught this, and you're going to see this. It's going to blow your mind. Scroll down, Brother Matt.
God, move down a little bit.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Now, you might have scrolled up to other pages. Move the page over.
Move over.
Yeah, move over.
Move
go back right here. That's why we're reading from right there. From the war. Start right
that's
there.
what he was reading from. He said, "You heard? Everybody out there."
I want to go back because I'm going to read this so people can understand what's going on here. Right? It says, from the war up to the time I was with Mr. Myers in 1875. So from 1861 to 1875, we had been going through Reconstruction, or what would be a better term, Negro Rule, or even better, black heels on white necks. Now, every office was filled by a northern carpetbagger.
A northern
Now, we are talking about the carpetbagger, right? We talked about
because I seen something saying it was also called the carpetbag rule. Amos, I ain't gonna lie. I was researching this Negro, you know what I mean? And the carpetbagger also was tied to like another nickname of Negro Rule, the carpetbagger rule.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, though.
Now it says every office. I want to specify and I'll make that very clear. Every office was filled by a northern carpetbagger with Noxubee and Lowndes County, 2 counties in Mississippi. What it says, 90% Negro.
Lord.
So you tell me, in these 2 counties, how is a white man owning 200-300 slaves in a county that's 90% Negro?
Lord.
Number, what, 9-1? Now, let me continue, right? Not only that, Brother Mac, it says what? Who were voters. So all of every last one of the 90% Negro were voters. But didn't they tell us, Mac, that black folks didn't get the right to vote to 1965 due to Voters' Right Act of 1965?
Yeah, that's what make all this shit so interesting, man.
They voted already. They voted already in 1860, brother.
Yeah, like a lot of stuff we being told, man, ain't adding up, man.
No,
a lot of stuff we ain't. I'm glad you got to this part real quick. Is there anything else you want to share? Because I want to take us back, and we're gonna come back to this. I'm gonna go back to the future. I mean, you talked about how it leads up, and you know what I mean. I want people to see this time frame when you're showing on the screen. Everybody can see it clearly what it's saying in this time frame and off the records and the source of where it's coming from. All right, from the census standpoint of the Reconstruction period, Negro Rule. So before you go into any more detail of that, I know we know about some things tied to some people who are being called that Negro. That's not West African people, Amos. Do you think this is West African people that they're talking about in this situation?
These are not West Africans. And I'm so glad you mentioned that, because as we proceed further in this build, I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you what's called the muster rolls of individuals. They call them militiamen because remember, the United States at this time didn't have a standing army. They had what's called militiamen, people from amongst the citizenry who joined up to fight against the British. I'm going to produce for the family, for the people, for the audience, we're going to produce the muster rolls of those individuals who signed up to fight against the British. And we're going to see if we can find any African name. We're going to talk.
Wait a second. Amos, real quick, too. Somebody in the chat say, what's wrong? Ain't nothing wrong, by the way, just for the record, anybody that's listening tonight, about anybody's origins or anybody that has heritage, which we do not exclude, in what we call free people of color, because it talks about Africans, Europeans, and obviously the indigenous people that fell underneath the term free people of color, for the record. So if you do have West African ancestry, which we can touch on that too. But tonight, these people that we're talking about in this Negro Rule, these aren't people brought from out of West Africa. Am I right, Amos, from who you're talking about, from your understanding?
I'm glad you said that, brother, because what we have a lot of people think just because we present this information, give you another side of the story. We're not knocking Africa. Nobody's saying anything negative about Africa, right? That's not what I'm doing. What I'm giving you information, giving you some sources, showing to you, as Brother Mac said, that not every person who has dark skin is from West Africa. That's all we're saying. I'm not saying whoever's chatted in the room like, what's wrong with West Africa? You may have African ancestry. That's beautiful. And I'm not denying that. Some of us may have African ancestry. That's not the point. The point is we want to try to bring the other side of the story, bring you some information that was not privy to us doing this miseducation in the school system. Because like Brother Max said, I didn't know my ancestors were landowners in 1860, but I was told that we were slaves, that we brought over here from Africa. Some people are already here. You know what I'm saying, man? So that's all. Don't get offended. We're not talking about West Africa, man. Africa's beautiful, has beautiful people. So please, this is not what this is about. Please.
Right. I want to make sure I said it to everybody just because I know when you talk about what you researched and you're sharing this with us tonight live, right? And you're talking about what you have found out, you researching your genealogy and heritage. You know what I'm saying? So for you to do this live, and obviously how it also proves the point of the Negro Rule situation, you knowing that the people that they're calling Negro Rule in the Reconstruction, that these people and their genealogy of your people that's tied to it out of this area of Mississippi, you know what I'm saying, are not coming out of West Africa in the situation of what we're talking about and their heritage. That's all you said, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just backing you up. I don't want to make nobody think that you trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, we ain't doing that tonight. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing that.
I want the people to be patient. Be patient just a little bit because like I told you, what I'm going to provide you is with information showing you where dark-skinned melanated people that was here in America, I'm going to show you another side of the story, their origins, where they came from outside of West Africa. You don't have that part of the story. A lot of us don't take time to do research, but I'm going to provide you later on the bill, provide you with the sources. This is called muster roll. When these individuals sign up to fight in the militia, in the Revolutionary War, the Dunsmore War, the French and Indian War, they're going to give you a description of the people, their nativity, meaning what country of origin these people were from. I'm going to present it to you, and like I said, you take the information, you input the information, you process the information, you analyze the data, you interpret it, and whatever you come up with, right, that's going to be your truth, your fact. Not me telling you what it is, not me giving you truth, not me giving you fact. You analyze the data, you process it. And whatever.
Let's go back to the future, Amos, real quick, dog. We're gonna because you know what? I don't want you to get caught up on that.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna time it. Give me the joint. We need
No,
to get people to 1812 because we said 1812 to Reconstruction time frame, right, Amos? When me and you talked about this, you know what I mean? And I think a quick little brief understanding. That's why I'm gonna let these couple clips I got explain that. I mean, you let me know of what you understand in history and what I understand in history, and those who in the chat that's listening understand about American history from the time frame of 1812 to Reconstruction, leading to this Negro Rule. Who are these people that they're talking about?
All right, hey, Mac, before I just want to read just a little bit more of this so people can see.
Go ahead. We're almost ready to load up. Go ahead.
It says, look, it says the Negroes realized their importance and were arrogant to the last degree. A white man dare not get into trouble with them. Why? They had the courts, the prosecuting attorney, and Negro grand and petite juries, and a carpetbag governor. We ran the courts, brother. So from 1861 to 1875, 14-year period, Negroes are running the court in Mississippi. If we running the courts, how you a slave?
Yeah, how you a slave? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, just the narrative that we've been given and what we know about this Negro Rule. And what I've been just breaking down with the wars that led into the Civil War. You know what I mean? When they talk about when we had Dr. Dixon on here, and we talk about, they call it a Negro War. He calls it, his book is called Negro War. You know what I'm saying? AKA Black Seminoles.
Right. You're going to see why it's called a Negro War. You're going to see why.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, that's what I want people to understand. What is this Negro War taking place? Everybody supposed to be slaves, even if you do got ancestry tied to the folk they say are out of West Africa, living in the regions of the Southeast, like the Gullah they say that are tied to this situation. When this how thing works. So we're gonna play a clip real quick. I want you to tell me what you think about this, though, Amos. So we're gonna play a clip for everybody to tap into real quick, because I can't in our time frame. I want to focus more on this, but we said 1812 in the title to this time frame, so we're gonna make sure we give them a little bit of that. And I'll try to make it quick, so I'm use these clips to get to it. Go ahead. We're gonna play about 7 minutes of this, y'all. Tap in.
Today we got some more actual history about the Creek War of 1813 and 1814. This was where the Creek or Muskogee Indians joined in the War of 1812 on the British side, with plans to exterminate the American settlers in southern Alabama. We'll be reading from this book, The Creek War of 1813 and 1814, by Henry S. Halbert and Timothy H. Ball. This book was published all the way back in 1895. Today we'll hear about some of the events that led up to the Creek War, and then we will hear about the Battle of Burnt Corn near Burnt Corn Creek. This was the first engagement in the Creek War, and as you will see, the war at first did not go very well for the American settlers. The part of Alabama with which mainly this work has to do has had a peculiar history and also some peculiar inhabitants. It may be well to rehearse briefly this history. Every well-informed American knows that Spain at first claimed and afterwards held Florida by right of discovery, and its northern boundary was undefined, that Georgia, as the last of the 13 colonies, was settled by the English in 1733, and that the French came down the Mississippi River as early as 1682 and claimed from the Great Lakes to the Gulf. In 1763, France ceded to Great Britain nearly all her claims east of the Mississippi, and Spain ceded Florida to Great Britain. The English divided Florida into two provinces, calling one East and the other West Florida. The latter extended as far north as latitude 32, which was the southern boundary of the English province called Illinois. As early as 1700, the French, commencing settlements on Mobile Bay, claimed what is now Alabama, and they held it for 64 years. They made some settlements up the Mobile and Tensas rivers. In 1777, Anglo-Saxon or American settlements commenced along these rivers and up the Tombigbee. In 1783, West Florida again went into the possession of Spain, and the Spanish officials did not retire south of latitude 31 until 1799. During the War of the Revolution, and so long as Spanish rule continued, this river region attracted settlers from the Carolinas who were not satisfied with American independence. But after 1800, following the Royalists or Tories, came also the loyal and true American pioneers. The flags of three nations, therefore, of France, of England, and of Spain, have waved over the waters of these rivers before the Stars and Stripes in 1799 were here unfurled. The Indians known in this history as the Creeks, then occupying western Georgia and what is now eastern and central Alabama, a region watered by the Chattahoochee, Coosa, Tallapoosa, Cahaba, and Alabama rivers, had seen the growth of settlements eastward of them in Georgia. They knew something of the white settlement in Tennessee, and since the year 1800 they had seen a brisk migration of white families from Georgia and the Carolinas directly through their country to the Mississippi Territory. They knew that white families were living east of the Tombigbee River, between that and the Alabama River in what is now the county of Clark, and that some even settled east of the Alabama. They themselves claimed west of the Alabama to the watershed line, and this line bounded Clark County on the east when it was set off from Washington County December 10, 1812. They had claimed also the Tombigbee River, although the Choctaws claimed to the watershed. And when in 1802 a treaty was made with the Choctaws and a tract of land was ceded by them to the United States, a Creek chief, the Mad Wolf, is reported to have said, "The people of Tombigbee have put over their cattle in the fork on the Alabama hunting grounds and have gone..."
Tap in. Amos, you can unmute real quick. What y'all think about what he's covering right now in that Mississippi territory in the South, right there in that time period of 1812, 1813. This is the Creek Civil War, Amos. This is all tied to the Creek Civil War. What you think about that, Amos?
Creek Civil War, like you said, it bleeds into the War of 1812. So you got this War of Creek War, the War of 1812 merging, right? What happened simultaneously, one spilling to the other, right? Now, the War of 1812, Creek Civil War, and that thing means you and I, we talked about this earlier, Brother Mac.
Yeah, that's why I got it like this.
Say again?
No, I line it up a certain way. Cause you talk, when I say I'm gonna go back to the future. I told you this. I'm keeping my word. I'm gonna cover a little piece of that Creek Indian War, which is 1812. You know what I mean? And also want to cover how it's aligned with the War of 1812 and who the people were involved somewhat, so people can just get an understanding. Maybe they don't understand it. You know what I mean? With certain things. You talked about the Second Revolutionary War, right? 1812. Go ahead.
That's what the War 1812 was called. It was called the Second Revolutionary War. Now, as I spoke with you earlier, Mac, we talked about this. I find it very interesting that a group of people, a nation of people, the Indians, were supposed to be so wiped out through diseases and famine, but yet they have enough people, enough soldiers, to not only fight in a civil war amongst themselves, but also fight a war with other European powers. That doesn't sound like a people wiped out to me. You fighting with yourself, but you fight amongst yourself. The Northern Creek and the Southern Creek are fighting, which is what they call internal civil war, but yet they're fighting with other Europeans too. So if the Indians died out, then who the hell are these? Who's fighting the Creek War?
No, that's why even the picture we got up there right now, you know what I mean? They got different people, but we go good and well. Negroes, as they would say, were in these areas at the same damn time. 1812, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna let you ride. It's on you. You my guest. If you want to go first, then I'll play the clip. That's how we do this. No pressure.
You said these Negroes. I want to show this picture.
But them Tories, me and Lee Cummins talked about this. You know what I'm saying? We showed pictures of the Tories back in the day. If anybody's watched the Negro series we've done with Lee Cummins in Conversation, you know what I mean? These people weren't West African folk. You know what I'm saying? They got their surnames and everything. They're coming out of the nation they're coming out of. They're not coming out of, even if they might have ancestry tied to the continent of Africa, when they're coming here, they're not at all, you know what I mean? Thinking in that manner. I'm going to say it like that.
Now, I don't want to go too far so you lose your train of thought. I just want to show a picture, an image. Then you can go ahead and run with what you're going to run with, and I'm going to come back to this image. All right?
I'll go. No pressure. Go ahead.
All right, let me put this up. It says the British Corps of Colonial.
It's not up, though. If you're trying to share your screen, you ain't shared it yet, though.
It's not up?
No, you ain't shared it yet. It's not up yet.
Okay. Share this tab. Okay. What about
There we go. Yeah, we showed this one before too. Yeah, we got the same. Yeah, we on the same page.
Okay.
That part.
British Corps of Colonial Marine. They're called African Americans Fight for Their Freedom. I just want to go down and read something real quick.
Not at that time frame, they ain't called African Americans, but go ahead.
No, they're not. But this is going to springboard us into this Lord. I want to deal with this Lord Dunsmore War and the Revolutionary War. I want to deal with that, but I want to bring this up first before I get there. Take a look at this image.
You got that top hat. You heard me?
Look at this brother. Look at this brother. Now, let's read this. Like their brethren during the American Revolution. Now, check this out. Enslaved persons. Who are these enslaved persons? Are they enslaved black people? Enslaved white people? It just says enslaved person.
Well, there's a lot of different people enslaved at that time frame, all sorts of colors. Yeah.
Absolutely. Right. And then it says, and people of color living along the Chesapeake and in the Tidewater regions of the mid-Atlantic states were faced with several choices during the War of 1812. They could either fight for the United States, a nation that professed equality and freedom but lacked delivery, watch from the sidelines, or take a chance to secure freedom by joining the British forces.
Right.
Precedent for such was set during the American Revolution when Lord Dunmore, Royal Governor of Virginia, issued his 1775 proclamation offering enslaved persons freedom if they fought on the side of Great Britain. Now check this out. It is estimated that between 800 to 2,000 served in what became known as Dunmore's Ethiopian Brigade.
Yeah, that part.
Okay, this part. And I'm gonna click on it so you can see what that means. Ethiopian Brigade.
Yeah, give me that word.
The royal governor of the colony was encouraging their slaves to escape, offering them freedom if they would fight for the British. Many black men took up the offer, joining a fight force that became known. They became known as the Ethiopian Regiment. Right now, I want that.
And they ain't got no ties, no Ethiopia.
Right now, that's what I'm saying. What no Ethiopians brought over here according to the narrative into the slave trade. So how they get this name Ethiopian Regiment?
That's very interesting. No, I would say based off the fact that in this time frame that you're rereading about, and we understand what's going on in history, that 1775, it would be King George III, which is a German.
What is that?
So the Ethiopian term could be just a descriptive term, romantic standpoint. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
But go ahead, though.
No, I guess I'm gonna.
Or it could be tied to some Masonic shit. Yeah, it could be tied to some Masonic shit. Ethiopian soldiers. Go ahead, though.
Let me share this screen right here, man. I'm gonna bring this screen up because we're gonna go into ancestry. Now we're gonna go into the Dunmore War and see some of the names of these troops that they are calling the Ethiopian Regiment. Let me share this. All right. Are you seeing me? Can you see this?
Yeah, I see it.
All right. Virginia's colonial soldiers, right? And to the right, it says browse this collection. I want to go down to the Dunsmore War of 1774, since they were called the Ethiopian Regiment, right? Let's click on it. So when I click on this, see it's Lieutenant Lemuel's Barrett's roll. So now, these are the muster rolls of these soldiers, right? Now, I should suspect to find some Ethiopian names in this Lord Dunsmore War. You see the title? It says War of 1774, right? So let's go down and see if we can find some Ethiopians in here, Brother Mac.
I'm looking for them.
Okay, we got John Higgins, Lazarus Swim, Martin Reynolds, John King, John Floro, John Coombs, Sergeant Patrick Thompson, John Wiggins, Stephen Griffith, Levin Green, Amasa Gostin, Greenberry Cheney, Thomas Vanderlap, John Dean, James Fair, and you can keep going on and on. Now, this is Captain James Person's role. You got James Person, Captain Hermanus Alkire, Robert Cunningham. You got Ralph Naylor, Richard Burns, Charles Mayer. I'm still looking for some Ethiopian names. Thomas Collins, William Curl, Charles Collins, Charles Daly, Richard Devereaux. Where they at, Brother Mac?
I ain't seeing them.
James Christie, William.
Unless I'm blind like Stevie Wonder, I ain't seeing them though.
William Ratcliffe, James Street, Cornelius Bogart, John Welton. What?
I think it is a descriptive term, though. I think that it's like interesting. Like I said, this the whole time, the fact that they call them the Ethiopian Regiment.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because like we got the another term they use for another group in Savannah, Georgia. Shout out to Back for his mind. I see you in the chat. Shout out to Back. Savannah never burned. Savannah had the New England soldiers in the time frame of 1775 as well that were fighting on behalf of the British. You know what I'm saying? I just put a chat last week. We ain't got time to go into it tonight, but you know, either way.
I also got the Massachusetts road as well with these list of soldiers. And nothing, brother. Now, real quick, and I'm not going to harp on this too long. Real quick, Mac, let me give you this real quick. And I want people to see this. Now we're talking about the French and Indian War of 1754 through 1763, right? Here's the muster road, size road.
Let's go.
Company, Virginia Regiment. Let's go down and see. It says the roll gave the name, enlisted officer, the date, the age, the height, their trade, country, place of enlistment, and the description of the individual, right? Let's take a look at some of these folks.
Let's take a look.
Right? He's 5'9", 26 years old. He's a planter. Where says he's from, brother? Ireland. What? Wait a minute. He's from
Scotland.
Ireland. Fredericktown.
England.
What's
Ireland. Swarthy.
From
I
Ireland.
see people that's called pale too now. Just to be fair for those out there. James Thomas, right there. You know what I'm saying? It says Scotland maker. You say he pale skin. You know what I'm saying? Pale complexion and hair. So they're not everybody ain't all the same. Now we ain't saying everybody coming out is black, by the way. This record shows that. So we can't lie on what it says. But there's a lot of people in there that's definitely being also being some brown complexion, fair complexion. You know what I'm talking about? I see it. Swarthy complexion. You know what I mean?
Look at this one, brother Mac. Look at this. Thomas Hudson. He is 4'11".
Make it bigger. Make it bigger, please. Make it bigger, please.
Thomas Hudson.
Right down. There you go.
He's 27 years old. He's 4'11". He's a hatter. Where do you say he's from? England. Lancaster. What's his complexion? Blonde complexion. What color eyes he got? Blue eyes.
Brown boy. That's what them ladies like too. They like them dark skinned dudes with the blue eyes and shit.
They call them pretty eyes, brother.
Let me stop.
You got Henry Moxham. He's 5'4". See, all these Scott Highlanders, they were all short brothers, man, between 5'4", 5'5", or 5'7". So these Highlanders were pretty short brothers.
Yeah.
Named Henry Moxham. He's 30 years old, 5'4". He's a seaman. He's from England. He's dark complexion with brown hair. So that's what I'm trying to get people to see. You can actually get these muster rolls and you can see where these people are coming from. You got Ireland, you got England. I saw brothers that come from Germany, dark skin, swarthy, black. Then you got a couple of pales. Now,
there's some pale skin and a fair skin too. I see fair, I see pale.
Now, fair skin does not mean white. That's just another name for either high yellow or light skin brother. That's all that
you say they tawny. You gonna say they tawny. You know what I'm talking about.
Right. So this is just an example. Now you can get this for those who have an Ancestry account. Go on Ancestry. You can actually pull. This is actually a book that was written by a dude named Lloyd DeWitt. He wrote the book of Virginian colonial soldier. You can either download it as a PDF, you can order it from Amazon, or you can save your money. Go right there and Ancestry. You got an account, and you can pull this up, and they'll give you the muster roll. And you look at these people, and I guarantee you, you're gonna come to the same conclusion that over 90% of these soldiers that's fighting in this war, dark skin, brown skin, swarthy, and you might have a few pale skin, maybe some light skin, high yellow brothers, floating amongst there. But 90% would be considered Negro.
And this time frame is what? Just so everybody knows for the record. This document we're showing them on the screen, just so everybody can hear it. What time frame is this that you're showing right now?
From 1754 to 1763, during what's called the French and Indian War.
The French and Indian War time frame, y'all. These are the names that's in America, correct? Just for the record, they're in America, right?
And this is
Virginia,
for the
to be specific.
This is also for
America, North America.
North America.
To be specific.
Right. Yep, North America. Now, this is not to slight the person who put this in the chat room, but this is for the person who put in the chat what's wrong with Africa. Nobody said what's wrong with Africa. I'm just showing you that brown skin, melanated people, dark skinned people, black complexion people, brown complexion people did not all come from Africa, man.
That's all. That's the fact of the matter right there. That's all we want them to understand. That's it. That's it. That's all. Now we're gonna go ahead and play that what these people were involved in dealing with this that led up to what we just got through talking about. Because these same people and then their descendants, right? They're now considered native to America because they now have migrated and mixed in with people. You know what I'm talking about? And are living here going into the time frame of 1812, which is the same time frame because these people are coming out of Scotland, Ireland, England. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? Even this one person, Matthew Robotham. You know what I'm saying? Harrison, 25, 5'6", Planter, Virginia. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? Like Charles City, Blue Eyes. He says scalded head. All these different people that's here, they're the people that's going into either way the 1812 time frame before, so we can get back to this Reconstruction Negro Rule shit. You heard me? I want to just make sure people caught this. Can we give them that clip real quick though? Amos, is there anything you want to share before I play the clip so we can get into the other part?
That's it. Play the clip, bro.
All right, let's go. Let's tap in. So everybody tap into this other little part. In our time frame on the night show, we can't talk this out. You know what I mean? So we're gonna play. I thought these are the best joints to shout out to them for doing it. Let's go ahead. British American War, 1812. Tap in.
In 1812, the young nation of the United States took on the country with the most powerful navy in the world in a war that would affect more than just the former colonies and their colonizer. The United States of America first gained freedom from the British in an 8-year-long Revolutionary War that finally came to a close when Britain inevitably recognized the independence of their 13 former colonies on September 3rd, 1783. One of the most relevant impacts of this war that would fuel future tensions between the US and Britain once again was the role of the Native Americans.
And as a fan of our channel, you should check out our friends over at Curiosity Stream. This is my personal favorite streaming service, a place where I can watch thousands of incredibly well-made documentaries and learn more about different topics, including what I love most, history. One of my favorite documentaries is about the top 12. By watching it, you will learn more about the impressive history of the United States and the United Kingdom, the rivalry between both nations, and the details of the war, also named the Second American War of Independence. This war was very important because it could have changed history as we know it. Because you are our subscriber, we have a special offer for you. If you sign up between November 16th and January 3rd, you can get 25% off a continue to restricted.
We fucking it up. I don't know. They must have known we were coming. He's like, no, we ain't gonna get away with it.
Expansion from the U.S. settlers into Native American territory. When Britain failed to maintain its rule over the colonies, the United States eventually accelerated its takeover of native land, causing even more friction between the American societies. This friction only grew stronger as the years went on, as Britain remained a driving force of the discord, since not only had the natives taken its side in the Revolution, but the British also openly encouraged the Native Americans to fight back against their antagonists. By 1812, this, combined with a few other factors, led to the development of a new war. While the United States was clearly unhappy with the united opposition from Britain and the natives, they were also infuriated by allegations that the Royal Navy was utilizing a tactic known as impressment to take U.S. men for their own troops. On top of this, the ongoing strife between Britain and France had a notable impact on the United States. Heavily locked in their own struggle, the warring nations tried to restrict trade from neutral countries and punish anyone who attempted to ignore the constraints. This put the United States in a detrimental position due to their inability to continue trade with either nation unless they wanted to risk invoking the wrath of the other side. While France took a more laid-back approach to ensure the U.S. abstained from doing business with the British, the latter was more aggressive about the matter. On January 7th, 1807, Britain issued an order in council stating
It is hereby ordered that no vessel shall be permitted to trade from one port to another, both which ports shall belong to or be in the possession of France or her allies, or shall be so far under their control as the British vessels may not freely trade. Furthermore, any ships that refuse to obey these restrictions would be subject to seizure by the Royal Navy, cargo and all. By November, the original order was expanded, now to include all the ports and places of France and her allies, or of any other country at war with His Majesty, and all other ports or places in Europe, from which, although not at war with His Majesty, the British flag is excluded, and all ports or places in the colonies belonging to His Majesty's enemies. In retaliation, France, under the command of Napoleon Bonaparte, issued the Milan Decree, which said that every ship, to whatever nation it may belong, that shall have submitted to be searched by an English ship or to a voyage to England, or shall have paid any tax whatsoever to the English government, is thereby, and for that alone, declared to be denationalized, to have forfeited the protection of its king, and to have become English property. Adding on, Napoleon declared that any of the aforementioned ships that enter French ports or those of French allies are good and lawful prizes of his nation. Forced to reply, U.S. President Thomas Jefferson signed the Embargo Act in December of 1807, blocking all international trade from American ports and taking direct aim at Britain. Unfortunately for America, the act backfired and turned the U.S. into more of a victim than anyone else. Emphasizing this point, the Minister to France himself even said, "Here it is not felt, and in England it is forgotten." The effects of the Embargo Act ultimately pushed the U.S. into an economic depression, and it had to be repealed less than 2 years after the initial signature. In its place, the Non-Intercourse Act was passed, which directly forbade trade with Britain and France and their colonies. When this new act still proved to be ineffective, the United States tried once again, this time passing Macon's Bill No. 2 in May of 1810. This bill lifted trading bans and stated that if either France or Britain removed their own restrictions, the U.S. would re-establish an embargo with the opposing nation. By August, Napoleon enacted a plan to exacerbate tension between Britain and the United States, and it ultimately worked. He first told the new president, James Madison, that he intended to exempt the U.S. from his previously established Berlin and Milan decrees, promoting Madison to bring back the Non-Intercourse Act constraints against Britain in November of that year. Despite the fact that Napoleon never actually followed through on his proclamation, Britain and the United States were now on the brink of all-out war. The final straw came when the...
So Amos, what you think about all that right there? We're just trying to cover this war part, 1812. I want everybody in the chat. Anybody in the chat disagree that all the details of what caused the 1812 war? Can y'all hear me out there? Amos, you there? You're on mute if you don't know. Could be live.
See, Brother Henry hit the nail on the head. He said, damn near all of them described as brown or dark complexion.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this is the reason why they call this a Negro War, because you got the American Indians, right? American Indians, and you got the, what they call dark-skinned melanated European, right? And they're all fighting. So this is the reason why they called it a Negro War, because damn near, like the brother said, damn near everybody was brown-skinned, dark-skinned, black, swarthy, tawny, you name it.
Right. So it's crazy because in this 1812 war, which is affecting America, it's affecting France, it's affecting England or London or Britain, whatever. And then obviously, in the Americas, as we're showing, you just show it from 1775, and 1812 is also called the Second Revolutionary War, right?
Yep, absolutely.
So from the fact that you showed those records from the first Mega Revolutionary War, that's only 37 years from that war time frame. So that means that them same people, indigenous and Europeans that's on those records you just showed, are the ones in these areas, correct?
Absolutely. They're the ones that doing the fighting. They are the ones that doing the... You remember, they are skilled. When they were sent over from Europe, they were already rebels, what they call the prisoners of war. through the Jacobite Rebellion, the War of Culloden in Scotland. So they already moved here to America with military skills.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what would be the perfect, what they call a sweet revenge, than to join the militia in America to fight against the British who expelled you from your land, took your land, and sent you across the Atlantic? Isn't that like sweet revenge? And I could fight, if I could get back at these individuals, I could join the militia and I could fight against the British. So you had those people fight against the British Army. It's like, man, that's like sweet revenge. You could ask for anything more than that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
They came over here with military skills. So,
and
know,
already speaking the language of what the crown was speaking over there, because they come from over there. They come from out of Scotland. That dark skinned person we showed on that muster roll. They understand the language from over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, all right. I want shit. This shit crazy. Is there what I had next? Because you had that. I want you to take off. Is there something you want to show before I show anything? Because I got something I want you to tell me what you think about. Because ever since we've had this conversation about Negro Rule, you had me kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like digging through the crate. That's what made me have to go back to 1812 and say these people. See, look, hold on, Amos. I want everybody out there to understand what I'm saying now. Why we even went back to 1812 in the first place, y'all? Because it's called the Second American Revolution. In the Second American Revolution, them people are tied to the same people of their first American Revolution. Y'all following me? Now we're gonna walk up to when we get to 1812. There's an 1812 war with them same people on the muster rolls tied to being soldiers, right? And then you got the people who are obviously indigenous and everything from that time frame to this time frame.
Yes. Yep.
Now, go ahead. Now, I mean, if you following me, you know what I'm saying. Real quick, Amos. One more team. Now, let's say one more team. This 1812 leads into 1816, and when we talked about the Gullah just last week, y'all, we were talking about how these are the people that would say obviously tied to like places like Angola based off of the Gullah history of who they're tied to, which is the second largest Portuguese speaking place in the world. But outside of that, the other people who are on those lists that are living in these regions of the same areas of the Carolinas, because you also mentioned, Amos, the Carolinas, Negro Rule, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So in the area of the Carolinas, that means the Gullah and these other Negroes are in the same proximity because they ain't all doing the same things. You feel me?
That's correct.
And then you have the American Colonization Society. One more thing. American Colonization Society, 1816. The American Bible Society, 1816, which is coming right after that war of 1812 and the Muskogee, I like to say, but the Creek Civil War, with all these indigenous and Negroes amongst each other, taking sides between the British and the Americas.
Yep. That's once again, brother. This is why it's called the Negro War, because you got quote unquote Negro Indian, quote unquote Negro Europeans. They all fighting, and that's why who was it? Was it Andrew Jackson? One of the presidents said, "What we're fighting is a Negro War, or this is a Negro War."
Yeah.
I mean, look. One last thing, man. I'm just going to share this. So we showed you on this side of the war, the Virginia colonial records. We showed you those soldiers, right? Now let's look on the other side of the water, and let's see what we have. Because now you have what's called, here we go. It's called the UK Regimental Registers of Service from 1756 to 1900. And I did this for Thomas Nash because this Thomas Nash, once again, falls on my ancestral line, my ancestral tree, on my father's side of the family, right? But this is a list of soldiers. Now, the 52nd Foot soldiers, these are the Scott Highland soldiers, That's what the 57 Foot soldiers. I think that they're the Highlanders, right? But let's look at some of these muster rolls. What it says complexion. Once again, you got fair skin, light skinned brother. You got fresh. Fresh simply means this is a man of young age. He didn't have any scars, any marks from smallpox or anything like that. All right. Then you got a dark skinned brother, complexion. You got a brother who's fair skinned, a light skinned brother, another light skinned brother, fresh young brother with no scars on his face. You got swarthy, you got dark, You got fresh, dollar. You know what I'm saying? You got dark again. So what I'm trying to show you guys is these records do exist. If you got an ancestry account, you can pull up these muster rolls and you can see, you get a visualization of who was fighting. You look at them last names or surname. These are dark-skinned melanated people. Have your surname, which means what, Matt? You did not get your name from the damn slave master.
Nope. That's not tied to no slave master situation. That's not tied to no chattel slavery situation. Them surnames and them complexion terms and fighting in them people ain't right there. No, we ain't doing that. We ain't gonna play them games on it. But we understand and research of free people of color. Because see, free people of color ain't got nothing. See, the word free don't mean you can't be a slave and be free. It's an oxymoron. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be a moron, but especially with the oxy in front. You know what I'm saying? So, that part.
One more thing I gotta add to when people doing their genealogy, when you find your ancestor in a county or in a state, and you look at that year, that time frame, you have to understand the history of that town, that county, and that state during the time your ancestors lived there, and find out what the heck was going on. You need to know. You got to bring that all together. You got to know about the history. What's happening around your ancestors? What were your ancestors engaged in? What type of trade were they doing? You know what I'm saying? So you got to know all this, because all of this is very integral, very important.
This is. I knew you was gonna come with that work. See what I'm saying? I knew you was gonna come with that work, Amos. Yeah, all you had to do is just be you, though, Amos. Right? You're not sharing. Like, this is your own research. So everybody that's live, like how you do. Everybody that's obviously tapped in with us. You should know how we is. We're hoping you doing the same research for yourself and your own lineage, and not taking on the narratives that might have been given to you, right? Because you never know, right? But at the same time, you're showing us from your own research because of what you found out about. Again, how you showed us in the beginning, time frame, as we get ready to go back to this Negro Rule. Because this is, what time frame is this right here that you're showing everybody right now? This everybody can catch this part. What is this?
The big range, it says from 1756. So this is also during the Dunsmore War, French and Indian War, the Revolutionary War. So all this is the same time frame, from 1756 to the 1900s. These are all British soldiers. Vast majority of also what we call melanated people of many different hues. And we're going to see that when we get to the South Carolina piece. You're going to see that the Negro come in so many goddamn shades. It's going to tell you that if you don't know the person's ancestry, you would not know that he's a Negro, because the Negro was so goddamn, some of them was so goddamn light that they passed for white.
You're gonna see another thing. That's a whole nother thing. There's a lot of what you call fair-skinned people who got Negro blood. You know what I'm talking about? Swarthy blood. I guess it's not, Scottish blood, but the people were described as swarthy people. But now today, you know what I'm saying, they could pass because they did what they did after. So you know how that worked. You know what I mean? Mulatto, 19th century and shit. Because we showed it on our community wall. This word mulatto in 1770. In 1770 was tied to Negro and Indian mixture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that Negro necessarily might not be a West African Indian mixture. It could be that swarthy person with that surname. You know what I mean? You feel me?
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? For those who do their genealogy and lineage out here. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. But either way, though, we're going to go to this next clip real quick, Amos, so we can move along. Try to keep this in our time frame. Because we could be here all night. You know what I mean? You do, conversation-wise. I could do this. We could flight. I mean, you can flight all night on this. You told me about something while Gotta Green pulls up the next joint. Remember you told me how I told you about flighting, and you told me about the church and how the hymns is tied to Scotland as well. Remember you? Just a brief little thing you put out there.
Man, it is the brother's name was Willie Ruff, if my memory serves me correctly. Willie Ruff, he was a part of a church in Alabama. And so he wanted to travel the world to find out the origin of the Negro spirituals in the South, right? And so he went to Africa. Now, I'm not making this up. I'm going to see if I can find an article and let the brothers and sisters, the people in the audience, so they can read it for themselves. He went to Africa, and to no avail, he could not find the origin of the, quote unquote, the hymn. They call it the hymn singing, or lining out, as they call it, until he took a trip to Scotland, right? And what he did was he went to the church, an old church in Scotland, And in Scotland, they got something called singing of the hymns from the Bible, and they call it lining out. And when Willie was there, he said, man, if you listen to the old, I'm talking about the old Negro church back in the South, when the preacher would say something and the church would come behind him and repeat the hymn, and they'll sing. You know what I'm talking about, the old Negro, the real church.
Yeah, that shit. Yeah, I didn't talk about. Yeah.
Same thing in Scotland, man. He said, well, damn, I have found the origin of the Negro gospel, the lining out, as he called it.
They were flighting in the church and shit.
Yeah.
Hey, we do that shit today. Hey, we do that shit today. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and say this part, and I need the choir to come in after that. I need y'all to come in at this part right now. Hey, you heard me? Preach, church. You heard me? Tabernacle. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, call and response. That's right. You see what in the chat. Y'all know what that is. You know what I'm saying? Church. You heard me? Yeah. No, but we're gonna get to this clip though, man. That's just funny. I had to just bring that up because when you told me that, I said I thought about the flighting part that I came across because you put me on something. I'm like, yeah, I never knew. Someone went and did the actual research on where the, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, this shit ain't tied. This shit that's tied to us in church doing this ain't tied to no West African folk either. You know what I'm saying? This ain't tied to them. We ain't get that from no white people either. That's coming out of Europe. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Yeah.
I got to find that and put in the chat because people they got to see it for themselves, man. I cracked up when I read that, man. Let me see if I can find it. But go ahead and play your clip.
While you find it, I'm gonna go ahead and read this joint real quick. You know what I'm saying? I just want to throw a little couple things in there before we get out of here tonight. The 20 Negro Law, and anybody that might have not known about it, you know what I'm saying, that's out there tonight. You know what I'm saying? The 20 Negro Law. You know what I'm saying? Make it a little bigger for the folk out there. In April 1862, which is kind of getting back to this Negro Law time frame. I found this and I want to throw it out there. It says the Confederate Congress passed the first conscription act in order to increase manpower in the Confederate armies. You can mute him real quick. I think he's tapping in on the thing. So people can hear that. No, you good. It says, I'm gonna read it again. In April 1862, the Confederate Congress passed the first conscription act in order to increase manpower in the Confederate armies, which were rapidly losing soldiers as 12-month enlistments, expired, and volunteers were fewer than anticipated. This act made all white males aged 18 to 35 eligible for military service and extended the 12-month volunteer service, but allowed anyone who could afford it to hire a substitute. Parentheses, a conversual provision that was repealed at the end of 1863. The act exempted men in certain occupations, mostly government officials, educators, ministers, factory workers, and munition workers. It did not exempt plantation overseers, which led to many plantations now being run by women, elderly men, or children. President Abraham Lincoln issued his preliminary Emancipation Proclamation on September 22nd, 1862. Critics of the proclamation, both North and South, claimed Lincoln was trying to incite slave rebellions, which been a president feared for white slaveholders in the South since American Revolution. In order to prevent events similar to Nat Turner's revolt in 1831, the Confederate Congress passed the Second Conscription Act, which included a piece of legislation that will become known as the 20 Negro Law. It exempted from military service one white overseer for every 20 enslaved people on a plantation to secure the proper police of the country. This would allow enough white males to stay home and defend against so-called domestic insurrections. This law was highly unpopular among poor white Southerners who owned little to no slaves. It also angered ordinary Confederate soldiers, such as Sam R. Watkins. He wrote in his well-known memoir, C.O., and that's A-Y-T-H-C, I ain't going to even say that right, that 20 Negro Law gave us the blues. He was flighting. We wanted 20 Negroes. It also raised the howl of rich man wars, poor man fights, a common theme that arose both North and South whenever the draft was invoked. However, the cry took on a more acrimonious tone among white Southerners who feared their rights were once again being trampled upon by an overbearing federal government. Their peculiar institution further intensified such resentment, yet the law remained in place until the Confederate government ceased to exist at the end of the war. Now, we're back almost into the time frame, as I just read that to y'all, of what is also documented in certain regions of what they call the Confederate territories and those states we showed earlier being Negro. So why would they come up with a Negro? Why would they even need something like this, Amos, you think? You know what I'm saying? In this time frame, in this region of people, come up with something like this. I mean, there's a lot, one, like, what do you think? It means there's a lot of Negroes, right?
A lot. Yes, of course. Of course.
Like if you had to put one for every 20. One for every 20. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, if they were Negroes in control, Negroes ruling, so hey, they had large numbers, man. We have never been minority, actually. Never been. Never been. Never have been. But once again, Mac, that's what they teach us, man. It's false history, brother. That's what they've been teaching us, man.
I mean, shit, the Negro Rule part throws everything in perspective. We're going to show a quick little clip, Amos. And I got this guy. I want to give a shout out to my man, Jesse. Right? That's what I got after this. The part with Jesse. Because I got to give a shout out to Jesse. Because it's something I want you to hear before we get out of here tonight. And I want everybody else to hear it too, obviously. He gave me some information to this guy. And I think tied to the Negro, the Reconstruction time period, like I'm giving this 20 Negro law part that comes in around this time frame. You know what I mean? So we want to do that last, and then we're going to show that first to Bill Timmons. I think I want to show the white guy. We can get the white guy first. Oh, you want to show that picture first, real quick? See, I see how all that's tied together. Let's go to that. We can use that. We can give do the other joint last. That's how we do that. Get out of here on that.
Yeah, I know you got a clip you want to show, but I see somebody responded in the chat.
Yeah.
Why VOC says call and responds. Then why VOC also asked, were these Scottish melanated? Yes, they were. We got.
Oh, yes, what we were showing.
We got documents to prove that. Yes.
Well, no, we showed it. You got documents to prove it. We should have showed it tonight. We showed them people being called dark and swarthy coming out of England and Scotland. I mean, we showed it.
Yeah, definitely. And thanks, AJFW. It's called call and respond. You're absolutely right. Call and respond.
Yeah. And this picture right here is tied to that Negro Rule.
Yes.
Ames, you ever seen this before?
I got one just like that.
Okay.
Yes,
I want everybody to see that. Ever seen anybody else seen that before out there in the chat? You ever seen this picture before, y'all? The Negro Rule picture. This is the politics behind it of what they seen coming, dealing with the Negro Rule that Amos, right, Amos? Am I wrong?
Nope. I just shared mine too, so they can see both yours and mine. They can see it. Same thing. North Carolina, Negro Rule. You see the picture?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
well, yeah. I don't think we see your side. I see ours. You feel me? I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, okay.
You want to show yours real quick? There you go. There we go. That's yours.
You see it?
Yeah, I see it. Rally.
Yep.
Negro Rule. July 4th, 1900. Look at that. That picture though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And make sure, Mac, if you get through doing your thing, since we're on North Carolina, I'm gonna show you the last bit we talked about, that white Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, that's where we want to get to, right? Ain't it? Cool.
Yeah, we get to that because we got to see why are white folks declaring independence and who are they declaring independence from? We got to touch on that.
Yeah, that's what I want to end with that. Actually, I have it lined up. Right, God? We were ready for you tonight, boy. Like I said, I was ready for this part. We're gonna end on this part. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Let's do it.
I mean, so in the and we're gonna play that joint, like I said at the end. You feel me, God? I bet. So whenever you're ready, let's take off. This last part of this Negro Rule bill we doing tonight, Amos, and I thank you for leading us down this road of conversation for others that are interested in wanting to do their research tied to this Negro that's tied to this rule.
Man, this is deep.
And the mulattoes too. Don't forget, yeah, anyway, we're gonna get indigenous folk officer. That's the Lucy. Maybe that one drop, hey, that one drop thing look different now, too, in it. When you talk about the Negro Rule, and they be talking about you got one drop of that Negro Rule in you.
Yeah.
This is in the Reconstruction, even the treaties. This is why they like the Freedmen rolls. You got one drop of Negro. You know what I'm saying? You can't be goddamn. Oh, is that why? Because of the Reconstruction Negro Rule situation?
Yes, man. Yes.
Because it's happening at the same time, like the Creek Civil War and the 1812 War type shit. In the Reconstruction period.
Oh my
That's
God.
interesting to me. Like, I just actually thought about it. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It just dawned on me, like, in the Reconstruction period, like, they literally, this Negro Rule, this is not in Oklahoma, right? This is, so the Negro Rule is taking place in North Carolina, South Carolina, Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? This is also what we call Confederate States, where most people have been told that they people were out of Africa living in these areas underneath white slaveholders until 1865.
Mm-hmm.
But we got the state to state, the Negro heads of family in 1830s, which these same people will be tied to that Negro Rule, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Wow.
I just want to make sure I said that like that. That makes sense.
What's up, man? You cannot make this up.
No, we can't. No, we can't. Are you there? That's it? All right, so God ahead of me. Can you make it a little bit bigger for the folks? I got cataracts too. You know what I mean? So I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Y'all see me over here. All right, so Margaritas and Reefer. The White Declaration of Independence, printed in Raleigh News and Observer, November 10th, 1898. This White Declaration of Independence you see here is very interesting. Believing that the Constitution of the United States contemplated a government to be carried on by an enlightened people, believing that it frames did not anticipate, see we tight writing y'all, the enfranchisement of an ignorant population of African origin, and believing that the men of the state of North Carolina who joined in the forming the union did not contemplate for their descendants of subjection to an inferior race. We, the undersigned citizens of the city of Wilmington and and county of New Hanover, funny Hanovers, hand it over, you heard me? Do hereby declare that we will no longer be ruled and will never again be ruled by, slide to the left, men of the African origin. This condition we have in part endured because we felt that the consequences of the war of succession were such to deprive us to the fair consideration. You can make it a little bit smaller, you make it easy. I ain't gonna lie, I'm focused in now. We believe that after more than 30 years, this is no longer the case. The stand we now pledge ourselves to is forced upon us suddenly by the crisis, and our eyes are open to the fact that we must act now or leave our descendants to the fate, to gloomy fate. Is that right? Am I saying this the whole thing right? Okay. Fate to gloomy to be born. Okay, to be born. They flighting with it. That's how they spell it. All right. Yeah. While we recognize the authority of the United States and will yield to it if exerted, we would not for a moment believe that it is the purpose of more than 60. What's that? 60 million. Am I right? 60 million. Okay, making sure of our own race to subject us permanently to the fate to which no Anglo-Saxon has ever been forced to submit. Wait a second. Wait a minute. Did this say 60 million? Wait, I will read this again. While we recognize the authority of the United States and will yield if exerted, we would not for a moment believe that it is the purpose of more than 60 million of our own race to subject us permanently to a fate into which no Anglo-Saxon has ever been forced to submit. That's a lot of people, though.
It is.
It says, we therefore believing that we represent unequivocally the sentiment of the white people of this country and city hereby for ourselves, and representing them, proclaim that if the time has passed for the intelligent citizens of this community, only 95% of the property and paying taxes like proportion to be ruled by Negroes. I'm gonna stop there. You can put the rest in the chat for the folks.
Now, they did not actually own 95% of the property, so I don't. But
what's
Matt,
that mean? Yeah, I wanted you to touch on that. Like,
Matt, but can we go back up to the top? Because I want to really home in on it. Go back up to the top, please.
I'm gonna let you. Yeah, give us your breakdown, because I know you had this before me. You know what I'm saying? So let me let you walk it. Go ahead.
Check this out, the family, the room. I want y'all to listen to this now. It says we. Now, mind you, this was written in 1898 in Raleigh, North Carolina. 1898. It says, we, the unassigned citizen of the city of Wilmington and the county of New Hanover, do hereby declare that we what? We will no longer, meaning what? Anytime from 1898 beyond. See what it says? We will no longer. Meaning, at the time of their writing the Declaration in 1898, they have been ruled by Negroes, because now they're saying in 1898, we will no longer be ruled and never will again be ruled by the people of African descent or the African race. Meaning, from whatever time period up until this time period here, 1898, they've been ruled by the Negroes. And so now they declared 1898 was going to be the end of Negro Rule. But that's in North Carolina. Then you go type in the massacre, the Wilmington, North Carolina massacre, when a mob of KKK overthrew the government in North Carolina that was run by Negroes. Now type that in, the massacre of Wilmington, North Carolina.
You heard that, y'all. Tap it in. Tap in.
They made good on that promise. A mob of white KKK members bombed and stormed the governmental building in North Carolina and overthrew a government. We had what's called a coup d'etat right here in America in 1898. Now, if we go back to that document we pulled up from Mississippi, in Mississippi, they declared that 1875 will be the end of Negro rule in Mississippi. So you see this stuff starting to take shape. The latter part of 1800s, going into the early 1900s, you got this full-fledged plan to reconstruct, rewrite, revise the history in America, taking control from the Negro. Now, this quote-unquote concept of white supremacy, which never existed. There you go.
Well, damn it. I mean, shit. I'm. What y'all got out there in the chat on that right now? That making sense to y'all out there that's tapped in with us live? And if you're after the fact, what y'all think? I want y'all to give some feedback. Put that in the after fact to that right here. You know what I'm talking about?
And why they are doing that, Brother Mac? Because this is going to piggyback what we just got through reading. And this is coming from, let you see, this is not just Mississippi and not just North Carolina. Here you have coalition rule. And what's this? Danville. Let me see if I can blow this up. This is Staunton, Virginia. The coalition rule in Danville, which is a county in Virginia. If I blow it up, it says the same thing. We, the unassigned of the merchants and manufacturers and mechanics of the town of Danville, Virginia, earnestly request that you would permit us to lay before you a few facts from which you can form some idea of the injustice and humiliation to which our white people have been subjected and are daily undergoing by the domination of what? Domination and misrule of the radical or Negro Party.
The Negro Party, goddamn.
You just touched on that, brother Mac. The Negro
Yeah, I
Party.
did. Yeah, I just got through saying that. That's why I had to come up out my seat and say the Negro. Yeah, the autonomous. You heard me? Estalusti. See, they say they call us Negroes because they were like looking at us at the opposition, like the ops and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when that Reconstruction joint, that's why we pointing out it's Estalusti. You feel me? Because with Estalusti, we've been here. You heard me? Yeah, that part absolutely. But at the same time, this right here in this territory within the jurisdiction of the state, county, etc., and the Negroes that would be in their different, lineage situations would be tied politically to, as they are calling it, a radical or Negro party now in absolute power in our town. That's what it said, though. That's what I see. That's what I see. Go ahead, though. In the Commonwealth time frame, too. Look, by the census of 1880, that's what it's saying. That's what it's saying right there. That's what it's saying. Y'all see that? That's what I see. Yeah, 19th century, goddamn.
You just hit it now. This is the Commonwealth of Virginia.
That's Virginia. That's way after 1877 now. Well, not way after, 3 years. That ain't way after, but 19th century.
This is the home of Walter Plecker and the Racial Integrity Act of 1914.
So this man, and when he's doing this census with people that got one drop of the Negro blood and making them now Negro, they don't pass the paper bag test because he's dealing with this Negro Rule shit at the same damn time.
Wow. Yeah, man.
Oh, wow. I never thought about this. I'm being real live. You heard me, guys? You feel me? Like Walter Pluck is looking at like this, the Negro Rule shit's going on. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, shit, I gotta pass you as this. I don't give a damn. You got one drop, bitch. You got to be over here because because if you get over here too, right, you're gonna be in that territory and this territory, and you're gonna be ruling both sides. Oh no, we can't have that, bitch. We can't have that.
Oh my God,
Love.
Man.
No, but anyways, though,
didn't know nothing about this in my history class in school.
I was never told this. No, I was never told this one right here, the Negro Rule. I might have paid attention to class back when it was, you know what I'm saying? And I even minored in history in college and shit, you heard? Because I was like, I might just do this shit and teach. Look at me now, though. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? This historical part, man, always gets to me, man. That's why on Sunday service, Maroonville, we pull up and do this like this. Because, you know what I mean? We was like, we got to dig into this, man. Free people of color. For all my indigenous people out there, all my folk with European ancestry, and all my people that got African ancestry within this storyline of this Negro term that relates to all of you because of the complexion of your skin. I'm gonna say it like that. You feel me? And now you have to now dig into the crates of you being American and being that your people were here prior to the American Revolution with these surnames.
Yep, absolutely.
And your indigenous ancestry. And I guess you can also count off of the West African people they say it came with. I give a shout out to the Portuguese when it comes to that, y'all. But however,
yeah. No, hey, like you said, brother Mike, some people do have maybe some African ancestry, and that we're not saying that. But when I'm saying I don't like when people try to make this statement of claiming that everybody can't.
No, everybody can't do that. No, we ain't do it. We passed that in the American time frame now. We Americans, but at the same time, Estalusti, we can't be saying, you know what I mean, just with this Reconstruction situation tied with what Henry just said, Reconstruction was basically the beginning of the end of Black rule in America. Yeah.
He hit it right on the head. Absolutely. That's what Reconstruction.
Yeah, Henry, you on point.
Yep, getting rid of Negro Rule. That's exactly what it's about.
That's what we talking about. Yeah.
Absolutely.
19th century. Let me get this last joint. I gotta give a shout out to Jesse, and then we're gonna get out of here, man. We're almost at that time. We have to overtime. I had to get all this in because this is a good one, and I ain't want to leave nothing out of it. You know what I'm talking about?
Mac, before we leave, man, I want to build the room to take this. I'm gonna put this in the chat. I can't type it in because I'm not connected to, but I want to put this in so people can get this book, man. I'm gonna copy it. Wait, let me do this. I'm not gonna copy and paste it. What I'm gonna do is
you can throw it in the chat. Throw it in the chat.
I'm about to do this, but I'm gonna bring it over here. Here it is, right here. I'm gonna share this tab, and I want y'all to go get this book, man. You got to read this book. So this goes to show, since me and Brother Mac were talking about Negro Rule, we let you see it's not just North Carolina, not just Mississippi, not just Virginia. This is South Carolina. You got to read this one. This one is deep. And it also goes into detail about how the Negro came in so many different shades of variety. It states that if you did not know the person's ancestry, he could be standing before you right in front of your face. He could look like a white man, but he's a Negro.
Damn, man.
It's in this book. Read that. Start at page
That's a
34.
whole nother understanding of Casper right there.
Page 34. Read page 34. It talks about that. That if you don't know the person, prime example of that, you got Babe Ruth, you got what's the dude who created the Seattle? What's his name? You got Roosevelt, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Eisenhower. You got that what's that crack the boy's name? Who tried to he sang like us, man, stole our way of saying. Elvis, your boy Justin Timberlake.
Well, he was talking about the Indians too. Elvis was talking about them Indians and shit.
Yeah.
I've seen the pictures. Them dark skinned folk he was around. I mean, he knew them people were tied to the land like that, though. You know what I'm talking about?
See, but the thing about it is, because Negro was equated with being a slave or slavery, a lot of people wanted to escape that Negro classification. So
that was the abolitionist side, though. We're going to get into that. That's why I want to get this right, Amos, so I can go ahead and, take off on this abolitionist situation tied to this American Colonization Society that pops up in 1816 during these wars. You know what I'm saying? The Negro Wars and going to Liberia because, the American Colonization Society is where Liberia is founded upon. And Sierra Leone, the Sierra Leone company is literally tied to the Sons of Africa from 1787. And these people out of London, even though it's tied to the Sons of Africa, going back to Benjamin Franklin using this term in 1751 in his observations of the world. When he's talking about swarthy people coming in from these nations, but also saying, why would we increase the Sons of Africa? You know what I'm saying? When we're the minority in the world, Anglo-Saxon standpoint of view. You know what I mean?
Mike, what makes this so interesting, man, is that at the same time this was going on here in America, we had the same thing going on in Europe. You got the same thing what's called the Highland Clearance, when those dark melanated Scottish people were expelled from Scotland. Same thing went on with the French Revolution. Then you got what's going the Negro presence in Russia. I sent you an article on that, Brother Matt, when these Negroes found living in Russia prior to a slave trade.
But you know what, Amos, that means that all these people, though, would be technically, when we had you on the show with Lee Cummings, right? They were all Republicans.
They were the Republican Party.
Negro Rule was tied to Republicans, dog.
Absolutely.
These weren't Democrats.
No, we were not. Hey, they really want no Democrat.
Because the people that took over the Negro Rule were KKK.
That's who started the Democratic Party.
Exactly. So the Negro Rule was ended by the Democratic political platform dealing with the KKK. Anyway, what's the prostate state? Because like I said, we're gonna go into that, but we're gonna show all this right here. Now you think we playing?
I'm sorry about, but I want them to see this also, Mac. This look.
That's tied to what people be floating around. I've seen this picture, yeah.
This is the Constitution of the state of Louisiana. Look at the members. They call it, what is it called? It's called the extract from the Reconstructed Constitution of the state of Louisiana. I don't see an L in there.
That part.
Why would
right after slavery?
Right after slavery. How? No. Come on.
Right after a proclamation of emancipation, boy, it took off, huh?
So you mean to tell me that white folk, according to the slave narrative, they beat you, they whip you, they rape your sons and your daughters. You think that now black folk can put you in power after they did all that to you, and all of a sudden now they gonna vote you into power? This means the nigga was already ruling. We voted these people in. Not white folk. We voted them in.
Amos, I'm saying the same thing to you, bro. I want people to hear this like I'm saying it, bro. Y'all gotta look at the time period. Since you said 1812, from 1812, technically, in going into 1816, they say the Gullah Wars, or they could say the Estalusti, or you could say the Black Seminole or Seminole Wars. I mean, take off, right? And at this time frame, that is covering, if you're going to count how some people will call the Gullah, which is going to be in the Carolinas, right? Where you just broke down Negro Rule in this time period between, 1816 going into this. That Negro War that homeboy, the president, was talking about. This is a Negro War we're going through right now. You know what I'm talking about? When he said that. Like, so right after that war, you give these people Negro Rule?
Man. Wow. And it's gonna be shocking when our people find out that vast majority of your founding fathers, president, does not look like the images that they give us on these, when you Google their names and you see these pictures of these rosy cheeked white men with the white powder wigs. If you actually go and do the research and type in the description of some of these individuals, you'll find out that Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, Abraham Lincoln, and so on and so on. These were melanated people, man. I got proof. Matter of fact, I got proof of that. Thomas Jefferson was a Negro. He was just a fair-skinned Negro, but his daughter married into the Randolph family, and the Randolph family said they were dark-skinned like the Indians. And then two of his granddaughters, they said, not they were just black, but they were very black. So when people tell you Thomas Jefferson was a racist, blah, 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 Thomas Jefferson wasn't another Negro, just a light-skinned Negro. But that's a topic of another video.
You said light-skinned Negroes. See, don't do that. We already got problems out here dealing with the fair skin and the dark skinned Negro. We just got past the red bone and dark skin age in the 90s. Remember, it was like the light skinned niggas. I'll be sure in them. You know what I'm talking about? I went to go through that whole era. I don't want no beef with them. Bobby Brown brought us back. You know what I'm talking about?
No, it wasn't no beef.
No, but for real though, hey man, for real though, I gotta show this clip though. I want you to see this before we slide. I want to make sure I get this in. Give me that joint real quick, guy. I want to show you this real quick, Amos, because I don't want to miss this. I want you to see this. And this came to me from Jesse. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta give a shout out to Jesse. You know what I'm saying? No, the Civil War technically was not a race war. That's the game that we broke down with the whole what Abraham was going through. Because see, just to let y'all know, to throw that out there, since that was thrown on the screen, health is wealth. The folk, remember, Abraham Lincoln is in 1865. In 1807, which is prior to that 1812 war, Britain early in 1807 has abolished slavery. No more slave trade. They're against it. You know what I'm saying? 1807. The people tied to the Sons of Africa organization, 1787, it's in London, chartered Equiano, buddy, right, God? Who the West California used for reparations. I know you got different names and shit, but y'all know Gustavus, whatever. But they tied to the slave narrative and what people talk about, reparations and all that. But in history, he is the co-founder of the Sons of Africa situation in 1787. That's prior to the 1812 war, which is right after in 1787. What was going on? What we just broke down when people that's on them rolls coming out of Scotland and England, right? In the American Revolution War, 1775, right? Right? Amos? Am I tripping? Is y'all with me? Can y'all hear me? Amos, you hear me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Am I wrong though, as far as my understanding of this timeline we just got through breaking down, as far as in 1775 and then 12 years later, it's a lot of. We can go back to William Penn. Shout out to what I mean about William Penn. Giving him too. We can use it. We referenced him already, but I like to use Benjamin Franklin's observation, 1751, with this Swarthy and Sons of Africa term and how it develops. You know what I mean? Yep. We're gonna go into that too, because just like we broke down with King James VI on Tuesday, Amos, you feel me? And how he was tied to a lodge and all this situation. But shit, what you think? Benjamin Franklin wasn't? So you know what I mean? We're gonna get this right. We're gonna get this right in history. You know what I'm saying? So people can understand the intentions behind the people that's telling the story that you call your founders. At the same time, in this situation, this person right here, though, shout out to Jesse's speech in the Senate on the disenfranchisement of African Americans. This is by Benjamin R. Tillman. I want everybody to know who this is. We're gonna slide down to give you a little bit of it. We're gonna throw it in the chat. You know what I'm saying? And Jesse gave me this, and I thought this was very interesting. So I gotta give him a shout out for this because it's tied to this Negro Rule. It says What was Tillman's rationale for disenfranchising African Americans? Why did Senators Spooner interrupt Tillman's speech? Does Tillman acknowledgement that Black Americans committed no crimes against white Southerners during the Civil War support or undercut his justification of lynching? How would Tillman respond to Wells' account of the cause of lynching? Slide down. It says Benjamin R. Tillman, 1847-1918, was governor of South Carolina. Negro Rule, right? Amos?
Right.
Okay, same time frame. We living in the time frame of Negro Rule, right?
Right.
Okay. And U.S. Senator, 1895 to 1918, he played an active role in the anti-Black violence in 1870s and helped draft the state's 1895 Constitution that sought to disenfranchise Blacks. For example, it was created by a poll tax and a literacy test, and the latter of which could be manipulated to discriminate against African Americans. We're just going to say Negroes, right? Because they ain't using this term yet. You know what I mean? But Tillman alluded to this effort in his speech and explained his rationale for it. He also frankly acknowledged the use of lynching. Tillman had used the theme of white supremacy to build political power in South Carolina and was known for his abusive rhetoric and violent manner. Not only did he organize violence against African Americans, he once punched another senator in the face on the floor of the Senate when Theodore Roosevelt had dinner in the White House with Booker T. Washington. Tillman is reported to have said that it would take killing thousands of Black men to put them back in their place. This is time frame to that Negro Rule right there.
Same thing they stated in North Carolina too, before they bombed Wilmington, North Carolina. One of the guys, I forgot his name, he said they won't be satisfied until the Cape Fear River run red with the blood of Negroes. Yeah.
Well, sure. I think that's the Negro Rule part right there. If people want a part two, you know what I mean, certain other questions, put it in the chat, leave us comments, you know what I'm saying, and we'll add on, you know what I mean, because there's a lot of information, because we you know, in the gaps of but we covered things, but to be exact with y'all tonight, you know what I'm saying, that 1812 is connected to all these things going into Reconstruction, right, Amos? If what we're talking about, it's all connected.
It's all connected, man.
American history.
I just put something in the post. People can read it, man, before we get out of here, because I made this statement about the former president. That's a description of Abraham Lincoln that he gave of himself. I don't know if they can see it. I put it there. It is. I don't know. Can you see that, Mac?
It's coming. Hold on. I think I'm pulling it up right now. There we go.
All right. Now, right before you get to June 1860, this is Lincoln. He said he given you a personal description of himself. Not coming.
You make it bigger. Can you make it a little bigger? Can you make it a little bigger?
Let me see if I can make it bigger.
Make it a little bigger for us if you can.
Yeah, because it's not coming from any author writing this. This is his own personal description. You see what it says here? Right above.
Yeah, I got you. That's the best you're gonna get. Go ahead, take off. It's on you.
Say it yourself. Say it again.
No, I was gonna say you're gonna read a certain part. If you ain't gonna get it no bigger, I ain't gonna put no pressure on. You know, you're gonna have to just, you know, get it how they live.
We can get out of here, man. Let me go back down. 1860. He says this. Let me go to the top so they can see this. Abraham Lincoln, his autobiography, written in 1858 through 1860.
Mm-hmm.
Get the drawing. You see this painting? This is art. This is called an artist's rendition, because the description is not going to look nothing like this here. Lincoln says, if any person's description of me is thought desirable, it may be said that I am in height 6 feet 4 inches, nearly lean and flesh, weighing on an average 180 pounds. What kind of complexion? Dark complexion with coarse black hair, nappy ass hair, but yet gray eyes. Now, you see this picture, Abraham Lincoln? That's a white man with silky black hair and no dark complexion. So now we got a problem. Now, mind you, this is on autobiography, because you can't say somebody's lying on this brother.
Hey, man, I got the same issue with John Brown, bro.
John Brown, man, look,
Bro,
John
that
Brown.
man's being described by Harvard as a swarthy man, bro, at the execution, bro. But either way,
These are artists
go
renditions.
ahead.
This is not what these people look like, man. This is
Yeah,
somebody.
something ain't, these pictures ain't matching, bro. But either way, Negro Rule come. 1865 is like Abraham Lincoln gets killed dealing with black Republicans and carpetbaggers and stuff, right? At this time frame, and then right after that, this is what's getting ready to take place in the country. Is what you're talking about tonight, Negro Rule. You know what I'm saying? And people been warned tied to these different situations from 1812 all the way in. Come on, man.
Same time frame, man. And did you also know Abe Lincoln, man, was threatened? He was scared to go to his own state of Illinois because they was talking about lynching the brother, man.
Man, shit.
But once again, this history.
We're gonna break their ass down too. They're gonna
Man.
get it, God. I appreciate it, Amos, man. We're gonna go ahead and we'll give a shout out. Amos, matter of fact, the clip we about to play before we get out of here is basically somebody, Collective 73 Heat. You know what I mean? Took off on a couple joints that you did already with us. You know what I mean? And people dapping in with it. So we're gonna shout them out. And we're gonna play that. We're gonna get out of here. And we appreciate everybody that tapped into the Negro Rule conversation with the build and everything. Hope you got your sources, and you can go do your research on everything that you heard tonight. You know what I mean? If you got something that goes against it and can say that it didn't happen that way, I would like to have you as a conversation to show that. That's all.
Yep.
That's all I would like to do. Keep it simple. Show us something different.
Hey, Brother Mac, thanks for inviting me on, man, once again.
I appreciate you, brother. Have a good night.
All right, you too, man. Peace to the room.
Yeah, peace to everybody that tapped in. Let's play this joint, man. God, let's go. Tap in with us each and every Sunday. Monte, homeboy with the news. Tap in. Each and every week we here. The harsh reality is live life autonomously.
Google in Mississippi Library Commission.
Okay, I'm there.
All right. Okay, when you're there, I want you to click on that first entry where it says Mississippi Library Commission. You got it? Okay. Now I want you to hover the mouse over where it says MLC Services.
All right.
Okay, then if you go down where it says Online Resources.
Yeah, my computer
then
gave out on me.
Hey, just watch the screen, Lee. I got it here on the screen.
And I want you to scroll all the way down to where it says WPA.
Yep, County 5.
There you go, right there. County file. Click on that. Now, because my people are from Knoxville County, Mississippi, I want you to go down to Knoxville County, Mississippi. I'm going to show you something. Now, I want to let people see where this is coming from because it's not Brother Amos making this up.
Yes, sir.
Documentation. I want you to see.
Live too. I didn't
Live
know,
with it.
yeah, I didn't know he was coming up here gonna ask
Ain't
me.
no editing.
No. I want you to read this. There you go. Read what that says, the title. I want you to read the title.
Man, it's Department of Archives and History, State of Mississippi, Jackson.
Okay.
Certificate of Authenticity.
All right. Now, what I want you to do, I want you to go down to.
I should have taped this.
I want you to go down to page 300 of chapter 9. If you look off to, page 300 of chapter 9. If you look off to the right, it's going to give you page number. It should be 181 of 467.
Page 181?
Yeah, it should say it show you the total amount of pages, 467.
Yeah, I got you.
It should be off to the right somewhere.
300 up there in the corner. Yeah, I see it.
Okay, now you go down to chapter 9. It should be 181 of 467. Go down. Let me see. Okay, this is it right here. Now I'm going to read this. Go down. I want you to go all the way down a little bit. Start right there. All right, right there. We want to read this. So we're talking about state of Mississippi. Now I'm going to read this. All right. Now check this out. It says, from the war up to the time I was with Mr. Myers in 1875. So the time of the war to 1875, this let you know what? This is the Civil War, correct?
Yep.
All right, Civil War. It says, we have been going through what's called Reconstruction. Now, we were taught that Reconstruction was all about rebuilding the nation after the devastation of the Civil War, correct?
Right.
Yep.
Let's see what the Department of Mississippi Archives and History said it was. said we was going through Reconstruction, or what would be a better term? What does it say right there, brother?
Negro Rule. Cut that over.
Now, now it's not about
hey, but this line up, but this is backed up by Benjamin Franklin, right?
Yes, sir. Everything lined up.
God damn. Go ahead. You still got it, bro. Shit.
Okay, now check it out.
Amos, I ain't know you was gonna come like that when the game like this late.
You ain't seen nothing yet. Hold tight. Hold on.
Go ahead.
It says, or even better yet, or even better, black heels on a white neck. What that means, they were being oppressed. Quote unquote, white folks were being oppressed by these Negroes, right? And it says, look, now here's another thing. This is going to debunk that lie that we were told that 1965 Voters' Right Act gave us the right to vote, right? Let's see what it says right here. It says, every office was filled by a northern carpetbagger, right? It says, with Knoxville and Lowndes County being what? 90% Negro. This is 1861. So how are we slaves and we make up 90% of the population?
And we the majority. Hold on, let that sit in.
Go to the next page. To pull up on me, pulled up for real, boy. Go to the next page, bro. He got another page.
Let's continue, right?
Go ahead.
Continue.
Hey, that man deserve another page. Go ahead,
It says, with Knoxville and Lowndes County, 90% Negro, who were what? They were voters. This is 1861. They were voters, right? All 90% were voters. Now, you have to understand that in order to be a voter in 1860, during this time, what they call quote unquote slavery, you had to be a landowner.
Yep.
You have to be able to pay poll tax, and you also have to be a citizen, right?
Yep.
So you could be a slave and you voted in 1860.
And
right?
a landowner.
And you have to be landowners, right?
Yeah.
Now let's keep going. Let's keep going because I know the brother want to get down to this part right here.
Next page. Yeah.
It says is that the Negroes realized their importance and were arrogant to the last degree. It says the white man dared not get into trouble with one of them because they had the courts. Meaning we running the courts in Mississippi.
Yeah.
And that's what he said. He said we had the courts.
This is unbelievable, man. You for real?
We had the courts, the prosecuting attorney, and we had the petite juries and a carpetbagger governor. Now here's the key right here. Check this out. It says the white people were desperate. They had been all these years mistreated, insulted, degraded, and humiliated. They had been engaged in all these years in a war. This is what Reconstruction was all about. Changing the narrative, overthrowing what's called Negro Rule. You see what I'm saying? So
every day, and I know like you love me, baby, if you feel it.